happens about 2 hours. 2 hours, give or take, 20 minutes or so. Anyway, sometime after 8 o'clock this morning, you're shot to win the cash again with the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. You get to break the glass, almost like you're pulling a fire alarm or something, or yanking out the fire extinguisher. Break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah, this is an emergency.
Yeah, it's a financial emergency, man. I tell you, prices are out of control. We've seen inflation skyrocket, and we're just trying to help you out. It's just a helping hand, giving you cash. So it could be up to $1,000, and it's never, ever, ever less than $500 with the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher on the way. How you doing, Fester? Everything okay?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Now, you sent me something last night that we'll get into later on. I'm just trying to figure out, am I going to stir up trouble, or should we take phone calls on it and see if the listening audience says no problem, or, yeah, you know what, that just doesn't. Do you know what item I'm talking about?
I do not. Last night was a very busy night.
Why is that? What happened? Oh, hi, Roxanne. How you doing?
Good.
All right.
I have an inflation comment.
Okay, well.
When you guys figure this one out.
Well, what's your inflation comment?
So I went to get eye drops a couple days ago.
No, not the eye drops that you're addicted to.
No, not those.
So how many eye
Bad
drops
guess.
do you have? What?
My daughter popped me in the eye like last week.
Yeah.
One night. I was saying goodbye to her. I was like, just patting her.
With what,
And she
like an
had
ice pick? What'd she...
No, she's had like a spasm with her arms, and her, when you have a sleep spasm, and it popped me in the eye.
Whoa. Wait a
Was this
second.
before you came into work?
Whoa,
one morning?
Hold on.
We want all the details.
Hold
I know, I just wanted
a sleep spasm?
Yeah, you've never had a sleep spasm? Like where you just
hold
kind
on.
of jerk?
Was your daughter awake or sleeping?
She was asleep.
But so you went in to say goodnight?
No, goodbye.
Oh, goodbye.
Yeah, I
early in
always
the
peek
morning-
at my kids.
Yeah,
I
we
always do.
Oh, so you to make sure they weren't like kidnapped like the Lindbergh baby in the middle of the night?
I always peek at my children before I leave for work. Yes, I do.
Probably,
Probably a good idea.
Well, I don't think the kids are going anywhere, but if it gives you peace of mind, and
Start
all
my day.
So your child was fast asleep.
She
so
was
this
fast
is
asleep.
what, 5:30 in the morning?
Yep.
All right. So you're getting ready to leave the house.
Yep.
Your daughter's asleep, and the second you walked in to hover over,
Yes,
there was a sleep spasm, and you
Yes.
just got totally smacked in the. Oh, son of a! Was it a repeated spasm, or
No.
was it only one spasm?
just one.
One spasm.
Yeah.
And her arm flew up and smacked you in the eye?
Yes, and got me poked me right in the eye, and I thought she
Well, hold on.
scratched me.
Was it more of a, or was it a,
Well-
was it a?
It was a combo. It was an A-B combo because it felt like a poke. It felt like a poke, but it was more of a spasm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was there a cannon sound effect I thought I heard? Was
Yeah,
was
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 that was
artillery involved?
That was in my head
hit the wrong
after it
button.
happened.
Because I've got the punch, I've got the blanc, and I got the poke.
Got it all.
And if you want the bone bite, I have that as well. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so then I went to the doctor just to get it double checked on Saturday because it looked really bad on Saturday. It was kind of starting to get red on Friday. And then
What doctor did you go to on Saturday?
my optometrist, Dr. Hernandez.
Okay.
He has Saturday hours?
He does. Yep, they got me right in, and it was awesome to be able to go in on a Saturday. Yes,
Okay.
my eye doctor is what it's called. And so he looked at it and he said, "Yep, you just got a good poke there." Because then I was with my friends on Friday, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, have you ever heard of people when they get bacteria and a scratch, and then they lose their vision or this and that?" I wasn't even going to go. And he's like, "No, Roxanne, you don't have a scratch. You don't have anything. It's just poked."
All right.
So he gave me a steroid eye drop, which I've purchased before years ago.
Is it over the counter or is
No,
it prescription?
It's prescription.
Okay.
So I went and I purchased it before, and it's usually in the $20 range, a little bit more, $20 to $30, and it was $85.
Well, with your insurance?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Did you put it through our insurance and the
Oh, yeah.
prescription plan?
No, I just said actually. So I said, that seems really high to me. She said, let me try to run it with like
Good RX.
an RX discount
Yeah,
program or something.
Well, Good RX
Yes.
is the biggie.
Yes. And
That's happened to me sometimes, that I can get a better deal on something
Yes.
with Good RX that I can get on our freaking insurance policy, which our insurance kind of sucks.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, that many U's. And
What are you shaking your head at, Fester?
Too long. I mean, if I have to turn my headphones down while you're making the same sound, you've done it for too long. I mean, I don't want to critique you mid segment. However, too long on the.
So then she ran it
On
the other
Good
way,
RX,
and
yeah.
it was like $200 some.
What the? Really?
Yeah, for a little teeny bottle of eye drops.
Like a quarter ounce?
Yes, that I'm going to use, get like 4 eye drops out of.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because
So
you're kind of addicted to eye drops.
define
What
addiction.
was that Robert Palmer song? You know, you might as well face it. You're addicted to love.
Yeah.
Boom, you might as well face it. You're addicted to eye drops because you're using those whitening eye
Lumify.
drops.
I
mean,
use them
you-
about 2 to 3 times a week.
I mean, you're
Is that
whitening
addicted?
your teeth. Don't you use whitener for your teeth.
Oh,
you're whitening
how
your
dare
eyes, and I mean, you're whitening everything.
I'm whitening my
Just don't put a white sheet on,
Areola.
okay? Just what?
I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be weird?
Is areola bleaching a thing?
I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
You're introducing your boobs now?
I'm just trying to think of a really odd body
What is
part
your-
to whiten.
what is your-
You're not going to whiten your belly button because that's just
Although
no.
they probably use it.
Is your areola just too dark? or hang on, if you want to hear something really gross, I've read about, and I don't know if
no.
we've talked about it, but the butt bleaching.
I read,
the-
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I know all
my
about that.
God. What do you just pour Clorox in there? What do you keister some Clorox? What the hell? What kind of show opening is this today? What the hell is going on? Anyway, so you saw the inflation with your eye drops.
Yeah, I did. I experienced it.
And Fester, what were you about to say?
I was going to now talk about butt bleaching, which I
All right.
know a thing
Did you
or
say
two
you had a
about.
rough night or
Well,
a
last night was a busy night.
busy night?
Yeah.
All right.
You don't want to know why.
Why not? Why don't I want to know why?
Because it was the veto competition on Big Brother, and then I'll mention Big Brother.
yeah,
and
I don't
so
want
then
to.
you're going to mention something that I sent you, and I don't exactly recall
Well,
what it was.
listen,
so I sent you a lot.
I don't want you to reveal something on Big Brother that some of our listeners haven't seen yet because they have it on their DVR. I don't want to piss
pissed
anyone off.
Yeah, what, Hackett? What was her name?
Yeah,
Something Hackett?
Yeah,
Don't want to piss
something
her
like
off.
Kellyanne Hackett or something.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
Fester really torqued off a listener because Fester started blabbing out about Big Brother on, what was that, Monday's show?
Sunday's show on Mondays.
And then Monday
right,
morning,
Monday-
Fester
right.
starts revealing stuff that some listeners hadn't seen yet, and they were all pissed off at us. All right, 6:09 at the MJ Morning Show. Just getting rolling. Yeah, the cash is on the way. Your chance to win up to $1,000. MJ Morning Show Inflation Smash is coming up. First traffic. We're back in minutes.
No incident.
MJ Morning Show on Q105. MJ and the crew here at 6:20. And, well, this is just sad, unbelievable. There's a head scratcher. You know, Wells Fargo has had a lot of problems over the years. And there's another one here, but so Wells Fargo, the big bank.
Yes.
Remember they had a mortgage scandal. Didn't they have some kind of a other account scandal regarding investments? Anyway, a bunch of things. If you look up, just for the hell of it, just look up Wells Fargo scandals. Yeah, just type in
scandal.
Wells Fargo scandals. Yeah, what's this one from?
This is from 2020.
Wells Fargo agrees to pay $3 billion to resolve criminal and civil investigations into sales practices. Oh, that's right, involving the opening of millions of accounts without customer authorization. Wasn't there some deal where there was a quota and a whole bunch of employees just started opening up accounts to meet their quota, right?
Yeah, the phony bank accounts were the big one.
Oh, yeah, but multiple Wells Fargo scandals over the years. Are you ready for the latest? A woman clocks into her cubicle or clocks into the office and is in her cubicle and was found dead 4 days later.
Is that a scandal or a tragic mystery?
I'm just trying to tie it all together. It's
okay. They have their fair share of problems.
I was just about to say that this is maybe not on the same level as some kind of a massive scandal where they're paying billions in fines. But, man, I saw this. I'm like, holy crap, how does that happen? Investigation underway. This happened at a Wells Fargo office in Tempe, Arizona, right? And turns out that this woman, a 60-year-old employee by the name of Denise Prudhomme,
Oh, no.
she scanned into work on August 16th.
What day was that?
August 16th was a Friday?
Was it Friday?
Yeah, Friday. So she scans in at 7 a.m. So 7 a.m. on the 16th of August, this Denise scans in. And then on August 20th, building security called the police after finding an unresponsive worker at her desk in her cubicle. That means that she passed away in her cubicle on Friday, was in her cubicle all weekend long. Then Monday was still in the cubicle, and then the body was found on Tuesday, the 20th. Which I know that's a because that was Chloe's birthday.
Right.
Chloe's birthday was Tuesday, the 20th, last week. Can you imagine that?
Are you freaking kidding me?
I'm not freaking kidding you.
Nobody walked by and was like, oh.
Apparently not. She's dead in the cubicle for 4 freaking days.
A lot of cubicles have high walls where you can't exactly see over them.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, but I mean, poor Denise. No one walked by to say, hey, you want some coffee? Hey, how was your weekend, Denise?
Maybe you thought Denise wasn't very chatty.
Well, here's the issue. There was a smell.
That's what I'm thinking to myself.
Well, hang on a minute. There was a smell. People smelled a foul odor, but they passed it off as faulty plumbing.
You never think somebody's dead in the cubicle next to you?
Denise is in her desk since Friday where she passed away, and that body's just sitting there Friday night into Saturday, Sunday, month, and you smell that. You smell. I think that's just the plumbing.
Plumbing around here is not good.
Got a plumbing issue. It's just, man, that's a terrible odor. Anyway.
You know, I could see that happening in this building in that stairwell that's kind of stinks a little bit. And say I'm walking up, guys, does it smell stinky in here?
Don't you say that stairwell? I never use that stairwell.
No, you don't.
I've never been in that stairwell. It's the back stairwell in the building because some employees park in the front of the building, some employees park in the back of the building. And you just said recently that the back stairwell smells like cat pee.
I did. Yeah, I came in. I said, "It's still in my nose. The stairwell's still in my nose."
Do we have stray cats that like wander? So there are cats back there.
We do. I do see cats back there. Yeah.
So
not in the stairwell, but
if it smells like cat pee, that must mean that the stray cats sometimes get into the back stairwell.
They must have broken in.
They pee. Maybe they have a key card.
It's the only answer. Yeah.
they just swipe it in. That's what they have. All right, so this is a terrible story. The body was found inside the Wells Fargo corporate office in Tempe, Arizona. To hear that she was sitting at her desk like that would make me feel sick, said a worker. Didn't want to be identified. Nobody did anything.
All right, hold on.
That's how she spent her last moments?
I give Wells Fargo a little bit of a pass because it was on a Friday. The office is closed Saturday and Sunday. Everybody's looking
what
to bug
about Monday?
That's a different
story.
And
then Tuesday, they're smelling stuff and like, oh, that's just the plumbing. Yeah, we got a plumbing problem.
I mean, if you think about it here, a lot of the offices here are closed-doored, and not everybody's in them every day. If Tyson goes into his office and kicks the bucket, and nobody goes in his office if he's not here, right? The door's closed. It would be a week, 2 weeks before we find him.
And if we smelled something, we would just say, listen, this building's a dump. It's probably a plumbing problem.
Yeah.
Plumbing problem.
It's really bad here around Tyson's office.
Yeah. So on August 20th, building security called authorities. They found the unresponsive worker at her desk in the cubicle. That's awful. Another employee who spoke with 12 News out in Arizona anonymously said that a colleague found Prudhomme dead at her desk in a cubicle while walking around the building. They said that most employees of the Wells Fargo office work remotely. Building has 24/7 security. But somebody should have found her much, much sooner.
How? If the employees aren't there, she essentially went into an all but empty building.
No.
She was there Friday when it was hustle bustle.
If people work remotely, let's say it's like six other people on her floor.
There's a number of people that work remotely. Most of the employees work remotely, but there still apparently were plenty of people in the building.
Yeah. Okay. This is what I want everyone to do who is on their way to work. Think of the person who you work with who is the least interactive and the most likely to die at their cubicle and no one would notice. And I want you to go say hi to them and check on them today.
Do a wellness check.
And make sure, check their pulse.
Do a cubicle wellness check.
I got to say hi to Mark Zallis this morning. He could die at his cubicle anytime.
Yeah, but his cubicle...
Hustle bustle. There's a lot going on there.
It's a very, very
active,
open area. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If Mark Zallis croaked at his cubicle... you'd see him pretty quickly.
Unless he hunched over his computer and you thought he was typing a proposal late on a Friday.
I tell you what, I don't know how he sits there because he's got stacks of files. What are all those files on his desk?
So recently I saw him reducing his pile. He was throwing out files from 2011.
Seriously, I'd walk by his desk and, every once in a while, folks, you hear us, kind of make fun of or poke at Mark Zallis.
We acknowledge him.
if I mention some business or some restaurant that I ate at, or I just mention something that's business related, and if Mark Zallis thinks that he can sell them ad time, which, listen, that's what he does. I mean, that's the lifeblood. We provide the entertainment. They sell the commercials, to keep this whole operation on the air. I mean, folks, if we didn't have advertising, the MJ Morning Show would not be on the air. Your favorite radio station, your favorite, personalities, and hopefully it's us, wouldn't be on the air. But the thing that we poke fun at Mark Zallis, we give him crap for, if I mention anything in passing, and I mention, hey, yeah, I was at Dave's Sandwich Hut last week, and man, I had a great sandwich. Next thing you know, by 11 a.m., Mark Zallis is in their parking lot trying to sell them commercials.
Hey, he's a hustler, man.
Yeah.
He hustles. But I have to check on him today.
So I have noticed for years that he has manila folders with, it has to be 150 pounds of paper on his desk. And you're saying that those things go back to 2011?
I think even further than that.
So why?
He has a couple of copies for a Cleveland Wheeler endorsement. He has some old school stuff back there.
All right, 6:30 at the MJ Morning Show. A great pile of early morons in the news is going to roll next. So if you like the morons, and a lot of folks are addicted to it, I run into people all the time like, yeah, I'm in a car, I'm going to work, man, I love the morons in the news. And we've got a spectacular pile today. You know, there's never a shortage. I mean, the fact is there's never a shortage of complete imbeciles that are floating around, and next is going to be no exception. 6:30, traffic's on. Let's grab Schreiner in for Pat with the latest, kind of permanently.
The MJ Morning Show, only on Q105.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Time for the morons of the news. In fact, I might even call this Morons Paradise.
All we have is the instrumental of that, right?
Yeah.
Man, what a great song
Yeah,
that
this
is.
is a great song.
It really is.
Yeah, a little Gangsta's Paradise. All right, 6:40 at the MJ Morning Show and the early morons of the news. Let's start right here in Florida. Let's go to the Villages. Villages has been good for morons in the news of late.
Of late, since forever. I mean,
Historically.
that newspaper in the Villages is gold.
I'm just saying that there's been a gold mine in the last couple of months out of the Villages. Listen to this one. Jealous woman allegedly breaks nose of gal pal after leaving strip club. This has a little bit of everything.
I was going to say that hits all points.
I love it. From the Villages News, a Summerfield woman arrested after allegedly breaking her gal pal's nose after they left a local strip club. Kayla Nicole Skates, 30, was leaving body shots.
Oh, wow.
on U.S. Highway 441 in Ocala.
Sounds classy.
Yeah, this is 3 a.m. last Saturday, and got into a Chevy Equinox with her girlfriend, with whom she has been in an intimate relationship with, according to the arrest report from the Marion County Sheriff's Office. When they got into the vehicle, they began arguing. Skates got out of the vehicle, began to walk away. The girlfriend, who was at the wheel of the vehicle, began yelling about going to have sexual relations with other females. That's right. You got out of the car. I'm going to go have sexual relations with other females.
Good for her.
I'm guessing that the language was probably more things that we can't say on the air.
Yeah.
I'm going to bleep other,
I'm sure it was remarkably similar to what you said.
Exactly.
Would you care to guess, MJ, what the star rating is of Body Shots Gentlemen's Club in Ocala?
The Body Shots Strip Club on US 441 in Ocala.
Yes.
Well, I can see it right in front of me, so...
It's a 3.3 out of 5.
So why does Body Shots have such a low Google rating?
I don't know, because the first guy, Howard Davis, who named himself on the Google review, says, thanks to Serenity, I had a great time.
Look, Howard Davis is a local guide. Does Howard know that these reviews are public? Does he know that
he has to know?
His name and his avatar, his picture is like... So 2 months ago, Howard Davis left a review for Body Shots Gentlemen's Club in Ocala. Thanks to Serenity. That might not be the name on her birth certificate, by the way.
It might be.
Yes, Serenity might not be on her birth certificate.
May not be her government name.
I had a great time thanks to Serenity, one of the best dancers in the house. First in a gentleman club in Tampa. I am from South Jersey, 15 minutes from Philly. Just saying that because I have been, that is B-I-N, I've been to a lot of clubs. Serenity not only was classy, but could dance like no other dancer I have seen.
That's quite the endorsement.
I do feel the club should be updated and the lap dance room should be updated or separate room. Also, our bartender was, I think they're trying to say also our, and we have R, A-R-E. Also, this guy, English is not this guy's strong suit.
Listen, he was probably writing this quickly while he was in the Tanga room or something.
Also, R, A-R-E, bartender was top notch. Never had to wait for a drink, as well as all the dancers were really beautiful and work hard for their money. That's their money, T-H-E-R-E, not T-H-E-I-R.
Okay. Well, listen, the good reviews.
God, if an English teacher is going to shred this thing.
That's what you get on Google reviews.
Yeah, I don't know the English teachers.
That's not true. You get good grammar.
Well, not always. Guys, guess what? I'm on their Facebook page.
Yeah.
Serenity's birthday. Come in tonight to celebrate Serenity's birthday.
Tonight?
Oh, my God.
Tonight is Serenity's birthday? Really?
Oh, darn it. No, it was 3 nights ago.
Oh, we missed
shoot. Okay, this is an older post.
She'll take late presents.
Sounds fun. They're having a theme party in honor of Leonardo DiCaprio films. Dress as one of his characters and celebrate Serenity's birthday.
Is there a picture of Serenity?
I'm sure.
I would like to see what Serenity looks like.
Here, D. Rodriguez wrote a couple of months ago.
Oh, a 4-star rating. This was my first experience at this establishment, and because of Harley, I will be back.
That's high praise.
She was chocolate and thick. What? The review said she was chocolate and thick, just like I love my women. Her body was amazing. I will definitely be back to see her. She was perfect. Chocolate and thick.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah, baby.
I guess 3.3 is not a terrible rating for a gentleman's club.
Wait, so where are all the bad ratings? You see, what you have to do is...
Yeah, I go to all the reviews.
Yeah, but you pick like lowest. Yeah, why...
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
Hold on, this is Google.
This is Google reviews.
Yeah, but how'd you get to where you are?
David Gator wrote.
Right. David Gator wrote, management is awful. John, who owns Body Shots, treats the ladies like livestock, makes them work 3 or 4 days every week instead of whenever they want, treats them like employees instead of independent contractors. I had an old female friend that used to work there years ago. They make them provide a doctor's note if they want to call out of work. Anyway, so.
Their Facebook page is the best. They say, come on in tonight. This is another special. Our girls are the best in the business at pretending to like you. Bring money.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's what it says? Well, that's the deal. They don't. That's the deal. Listen, they are doing whatever. These dancers, listen, if that's your trade, if that's what you do for a living, then so be it. But that's their job, to make you feel like, you're the most important guy in the world. And listen, they're just trying to extract money from your pants. Okay? That's it. That's what they want.
Wow.
The only thing they want in your pants is your money. That is it. Anyway, so we got off on this Body Shots Gentlemen's Club tangent because of the morons in the news story. The woman that was driving, again, got into an argument with the woman that got out. So these are two women that apparently were dating each other. If you're just tuning in, story that we had was jealous woman allegedly breaks nose of gal pal after leaving strip club. And this is up in Ocala. This is one of our early morons in the news stories. The girlfriend who was at the wheel of the vehicle began yelling about she was going to have sexual relations with other women. Skates walked back to the vehicle and punched the other woman in the nose. The girlfriend called a male friend. He drove her to the Summerfield ER, where medical personnel confirmed the woman's nose was fractured in 3 places. A deputy called Skates, who confirmed that she and her girlfriend had been drinking and arguing. When asked about the broken nose, Skates suggested her girlfriend probably fell. Nope, not going to fly. She was arrested and charged with battery and taken into the Marion County Jail for processing.
Wow.
Look at that.
I learned something.
You learned something about Body Shots?
Yeah, Body Shots, the best club in Marion County.
Hey, listen to this one.
This radio thing doesn't work out, Rox.
No, I'm just talking as a patron. Sounds like a fun place.
You're about, any of us are like 3 bad decisions away from working there, right?
Woman in Florida Keys for a job interview smashes into a bar while drunk and then spits on a deputy. But the question is, did she get the job? That's what I want to know.
What's the job?
Right, well, this is from a beautiful Big Pine Key down in the Keys. A woman visiting the Florida Keys from out of state with her husband to meet with a possible employer landed in jail after downing half a bottle of liquor in 5 minutes, crashing into a combination bar liquor store, and then fighting with sheriff's deputies when they showed up. Husband also wound up in jail. According to the Monroe County Sheriff's Office report, man, this is Florida, baby. This is why we live here. Kimberly Marie Robbins, 47, and Charles Lambert, 41, from Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Which, I grew up in Virginia Beach. We were in Elizabeth City, quite often, just over the North Carolina-Virginia border. They were in Big Pine Key last week to meet with an employer. The report states that Lambert told deputies that they drove to Coconut's Bar and Liquor Store, went into the bar, purchased a bottle of Crown Royal, and drank approximately half the bottle in about 5 minutes, leading to a fight over her drinking. At some point, deputies said Lambert hit Robbins. Deputies said Robbins got in their pickup truck to get away from him, then drove the truck into the side of the building, the liquor store bar.
They drank it right there in the parking lot?
Apparently so. Listen, you got the wine warehouse on Gandy.
Yeah.
They have wines and liquors up front, and then there's a
Poker.
door. There's a door in the back of the store that you can just walk into the bar, or there's a side entrance just into the bar. So these are kind of, are these like exclusive to Florida?
No, I don't know that.
But there are a lot
like
of
a
those.
package store in the front and then like a little club in the back.
Exactly. Package store in front, little bar in the back. I don't know if I've seen those elsewhere. I know they're very common here in Florida. But again, this woman downing half a bottle of Crown Royal in 5 minutes and then drives the vehicle into the building. So Marion County Sheriff's Office Deputy Brandon Ware Rogers wrote in the report that after he arrived at the scene, the truck's front airbags were deployed. So she smashed into the building so hard, it triggered the airbags. Keys were still in the ignition. The transmission was still in drive. So the car was in drive, just smashed into the building. Deputy says, I asked Kimberly if she was okay and able to step out of the vehicle. Kimberly stated that she was fine, exited the truck. I don't know if they're driving this truck back to Elizabeth City, North Carolina.
I don't think it's going to make it.
I don't think it's going to make it either. Deputies said as she got out, they could smell a strong odor of alcohol. Kimberly had an unsteady stance, spoke with a slurred speech. While waiting for medics to check out the injuries, Robbins would sway back and forth, losing her footing, falling on the ground. After being medically cleared, deputies said that Robbins failed a battery of field sobriety tests and took her to the Key West jail facility to conduct a breathalyzer test. That's when authorities say that things got even further out of hand. Another deputy said that during the 20-minute observation period, Kimberly spat on his face and then fell out of a chair onto the floor.
Yeah, she's a hot mess.
Oh, my God. Kimberly then grabbed the deputy's leg and pants and would not let go. Multiple verbal commands were given. Let go of my leg. This is the deputy. Let go of my leg. The deputy had to use mechanical compliance to break free.
What's that?
What?
I don't know.
Maybe just pushing her. Or,
okay.
Facing felony charges of battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting arrest with violence, DUI charges. But we don't know if she got the job. Down from North Carolina in the Keys for a job interview, and you end up destroying your vehicle by smashing it into the side of a bar package store. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I was trying to write lyrics for Hit the Gas instead of the brake, but I mean, the details just kept going and going and going. There's too much material.
Mechanical compliance is he like pressed her pressure point or something, or caused her some degree of pain or agitation to let go.
I thought it was something physical that the deputy did to break free versus him taking out some kind of a mechanical vice or some type of a sledgehammer to pound her off.
Yeah, I don't know if Monroe County carries crowbars on their security belts.
Yeah. All right, folks, that's it. Morons in the news for a Thursday. That's why we call it Morons in the News. 7 o'clock hour starts in minutes. We roll out the cash in a little over an hour. A little after 8 o'clock, we'll play the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher, your chance to win up to $1,000. Never less than 500, and that is on the way. Stand by. If you... 7:02 at the MJ Morning Show. MJ, Fester, Roxanne, Andrew in the booth. About an hour away from the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. It is simple. You listen, you get entertained by our content, and then a little after 8 o'clock, we'll tell you what number caller to be. We'll give you the phone number. You call in. If you're the right caller, you get to play the game and smash the glass to see how much money is behind the glass of the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. Your chance to win up to $1,000. And there is never anything less than $500. So the Inflation Smasher on the way in about an hour, just after 8 o'clock here on the MJ Morning Show. I think I know the answer to this question. If I ask this of Fester, I'm pretty sure that I can nail what Fester's answer is going to be. Wow. I'm not quite sure about Roxanne. And I thought maybe we'd go to phones on this as well and ask our listeners what they would do. What's that? The dude on ABC?
John Quinn.
Quiones.
Yes.
John Quiones.
On 2020?
Yeah.
What would you do?
That's right. What would you do? All right, so I have a what would you do question here. I know that Fester, that I know exactly what you would do. Okay. So let me give you the scenario. You're at Target. You're at a Target store, and you notice that the $200 Nespresso machines are ringing up at $60. What do you do? What do you do?
So it's a mistake, right?
Clearly, if it's a $200 machine and it's scanning at $60, I don't think that's intentional. If the machine's supposed to sell, it's not like it's on sale. The machine is supposed to sell for $200 and it's ringing up at $60.
Yeah, but it's still $60. I mean, it's not like it's $6. You know, it's not like it's a ridiculous, crazy deal. It's just a really low price. Yeah, I'd maybe pick one up if you have a need for something. That's a very specific item.
See, I would figure that you'd pick up every single one of them and sell them on eBay, or sell them in Facebook Marketplace and score.
I don't know, that's a lot.
Double
of
your money. Listen, if they're $200 and you sold them for $150 or $125, I mean, you got a chance to more than double your money.
Is the demand for Nespresso machines that great?
The question is, what would you do? Do you knowingly, if you're at a store, if you knowingly know that something is ringing up wrong, if it's too high, you're going to tell them, oh, whoa, that's too high. Or I've had situations where something is a BOGO or something is on special, and it does. You got to be really careful. MJ Morning Show public service announcement. You got to be really, really careful. Don't assume that when you go to a store and something is an advertised special or something's on sale, don't assume that it's gonna ring up properly. It has happened to me many, many times where something is marked down, something is on special, and it rings up at the regular price. I've seen that. And everyone's going to say, whoa, hold on a minute, cashier. That's scanned wrong if you're going to pay too much. The question is, what do you do when it scans too low? I'm not talking about the scoundrels that are like putting fake UPCs on products. That's another big problem. You got, just scoundrels and total rapscallions that, scoundrels that will do that. And that's a thing where people are putting, cheaper UPC price scanners over the original. But I would love to know, what do you do? Let's go to phones on this. You're at a store and something is just erroneously, clearly scanning at way too low. Do you say something or you just take the money and run? You just take advantage of the situation?
That's the price of doing business.
All right, let's go. I'm just out of curiosity. So in this case, it's Target, the expensive Nespresso $200 machines for, they make coffee and cappuccinos and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a Keurig thing, right? Is that the...
Oh, don't you dare call it a Keurig.
Listen,
I hate those Keurig
quite
people.
Different.
All right, listen, I don't drink this stuff, so we don't have any of this crap.
It's a coffee machine.
We have none of this in my house. So the Nespresso machine, what would you do? Seriously. $200 machine, and it's scanning at $60. Do you say something? Or you just, I just made away, with $140 windfall. I'm just out of curiosity. What would you do? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. I bring this up because there's a video that popped up in my reels. I was scanning, and this lady's on there, Tessa. Tessa's on my Instagram reel saying, yeah, man, I was at Target. She says, y'all, I'm going to need y'all to run, not walk to Target right now because I was shopping for an espresso machine, and I saw this one. It looked good. And then she, shows the box of the Nespresso, and she says when the item got scanned, it was $60 compared to what it should have been, $200. I said, what would you do? We'll go to phones here in a second, 800-990-1047. Are you going to be honest? Or are you going to say, oh, Target's a big, big corporation. They can absorb this. So, Roxanne, what do you do?
I have a weird tick lately. When I am checking out, for instance, last night I was at the Dollar Tree, and I was checking out, and I had like 12 items, and my bill was like $15. And I say to the cashier, wow, well, that's a nice, pleasant surprise. That's less than what I thought it would be. And then if I'm like grocery shopping or something and the bill is crazy, I'm like, well, geez, that's a lot more than I thought it was going to be. So I have this dialogue with the cashier now. It's very odd.
I thought you were having dialogue in your head.
Well, I think it makes more sense to have it in my head. I'm like talking to the cashier about the bill.
Wait a minute. With the Dollar Tree, was that too low or
No, it was just great. It's so.
you're saying because the stuff is so cheap there that you had a lot of stuff for a little money.
It's the opposite of sticker shock.
You go to the dollar store where they tell you everything's $1.25.
I thought it's $1.50 now.
No, it's like
$1.25.
It is about
They have a couple different
I thought I read that it went up again.
But you buy 12 items, it's $15, exactly what it should be to the penny, and you're like, oh, that's less than I thought.
No, because I am new to the Dollar Tree.
You are.
And so every time we should.
I should give you the
Roxanne,
it's like a
Roxanne
surprise.
just started going to the Dollar Tree recently. All right, so what do you do with the Nespresso machine? You're at Target. It's a $200 machine, and it rings up at $60. What do you do?
I'll tell you exactly
Roxanne, what do you do?
I would say to the cashier, well, this is a nice surprise. What a great deal. I thought it was going to be more than that. That's it.
Oh, but you don't offer up, hey, it's supposed to be $200. It's ringing up at $60?
I would probably think it was a special. I would assume it was a special. Like, oh, wow, I'm getting this at a good deal.
Lisa in Hudson. Lisa, what do you do?
Okay, so I've been in big box for 33 years. Won't say the store. Very, very big
did you just say you've been in big box for 33 years?
33 years as a manager.
In a big box store?
Doing big box store. Big box store.
Lisa, is it a really big box store?
Very big. Very big. One of the biggest employers.
All right, go ahead.
So you are doing nothing wrong. So what the deal is probably that espresso was on clearance, and they are very short employees. So every day they get thousands and thousands of markdowns, and they go through lots and lots of employees, and they just don't have time to get to those markdowns. So that espresso machine was probably model 145, and they've gone on to 146.
Yeah. Okay.
And that went through a series of markdowns that the employees just never got to. So it got marked down and marked down and marked down, and the employees just never got a chance to mark that down.
All right. So the barcode scan you're saying is accurate. The shelf just didn't reflect it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So the consumers are doing nothing wrong. If you walk into the big box store that I'm talking about, you'll have that very, very often. Well, you'll pick up a product and it'll say $19.99. You'll get up to the register, it'll ring up $8.
All right, and you're saying that you work at a very, very, very big box store for 33 years?
33 years, and it happens all the time.
Do you have the dimensions of this big box store so I can kind of get a mental image of how big this box store is?
It's the one that you shop and you mention a lot.
All right, how many square feet is the big box store that you work in?
It can be as large as 60, 80, 90, 100,000 square feet.
There you
that
go.
is $100 million a year.
Wow.
Okay, so you guys are doing nothing wrong.
Okay.
It just means they don't have enough employees to keep up with the markdowns that are going on.
All right, roger that, Lisa. Lisa, thank you.
The old model.
Appreciate it,
No
Lisa.
problem. Have a wonderful day, guys.
You too.
Yeah, the register is right. I don't trust the sign that a person has to put there to be the real price.
Hey, it's Curly.
Okay.
Curly in Tampa. Curly, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Welcome.
Welcome. Stick it to the man.
Stick it to the man.
That's right, Curly.
Screw corporate America.
Every day we go to the grocery stores and we feel like we're the Three Stooges getting eye gouged by the stores. So this is the time for us to eye gouge back.
Stick it to the man. Curly, thanks for the call. Lewis in LOL, Land O'Lakes. Hello, Lewis. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning, MJ. How are you? I've been listening to you guys, especially you, from way back 20 years ago in Miami.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, I did an afternoon show which ran on WIOD for years.
For years, that's exactly where I've been.
Yep. I was based in Tampa, but I also ran for 20 years on WIOD. In fact,
yes,
on WIOD Miami, I believe I have the record for being the longest running show ever on that radio station for the number of years that I was on there. All right, Lewis, what do you do when something scans lower than what it's supposed to be or what the shelf says? Do you say something? You just take the money and run?
Well, you mentioned that it was Target. Being that it's Target, I'd back my pickup truck and take them all.
Well, hold on. What do you have against Target?
It's a political thing.
Yeah. Target had the political thing with
So you're gonna slight
So
them.
yeah, I'd wipe them out.
Yes.
Put them under. Put them out of business.
Watch out for that, Lewis. He's gonna clear us out of coffee makers.
Thank you, Lewis. Have a great day. All right, final call on this. Crystal in Odessa. Crystal, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hi.
Good morning.
Hey, Crystal.
So, when things ring up lower than I anticipated them to be, I don't say anything. I figure throughout my lifetime, I've spent so much at, Bed Bath & Beyond and Walmart and Home Depot.
Oh, Bed Bath. That's why they're out of business, because you cleaned them out. That's why.
It's all my fault. But, you mentioned people putting, cheaper UPS.
Yeah, Bed Bath and bankrupt because of you, Crystal.
Well, if I got to be the scapegoat, that's fine. But I occasionally buy, practice golf balls at Dick's, good sports fitting store.
Hold on, do you say dicks and balls? What did you just say?
She loves it.
She said she was telling the other teller, she's like, you've got to, check and make sure that it's the golf balls in the package goes with the package, because apparently people put cheaper balls or the more expensive balls in the cheaper.
People, the stuff that people do at retail is unfreaking believable.
Yeah, that's stealing.
That's theft. Crystal, thanks for the call. Have a great day.
Sure.
MJ, you also, MJ, have made the false assumption that the cashier gives a crap. Oh, I'm sorry, this is supposed to be $12 more. This is supposed to be $100 more. Yeah. They don't care. On to the next one. They get paid their couple of bucks an hour to be there. They don't care.
All right, here's Tessa, the woman that started this whole thing by saying that the Nespressos were marked at $200 but rang up at $60 at the register for the Nespresso machine. This is Tessa.
Y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to run, not walk to Target right now, because I was shopping for an Nespresso machine and I saw this one look good. So I went to scan it and saw that it was $60 compared to $200. Oh yeah, I grabbed two, one for me and my sister. So y'all better come up here and get one of these. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. So listen, it was on clearance and nobody changed the sign. Tessa,
that is a possibility. As our first caller who works at a. Did you know she worked at a very, very big box store?
No, it was three varies.
I can't imagine which one.
7:16 at the MJ Morning Show. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. We also have your chance to win the loot up to $1,000, never less than $500. The MJ Morning Show money and inflation smasher is coming up just after 8 o'clock here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. So stand by. 726 at the MJ Morning Show. Hey, everybody. MJ here. Fester, Roxanne, and Moolah. The money is on the way. 726 right now. That puts us 34 minutes or so away from the opening of the windows. So shortly after 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock is 34 minutes away. We're going to play the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher again. Just keep listening to our quality entertainment. I'll tell you what number caller to be. You phone in, and if you're the right caller, you get to play, and you will win cash. You absolutely win cash. It's nothing less than $500, and it could be up to $1,000 just by listening and calling in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show. Fester, I walked by this in my garage on the way to the car this morning, in order to drive to work. Do you know what exactly it was that I walked by in my garage?
Oh, God. It could be anything. Hot water heater.
No. Come
don't know
on.
what-
Thinking, dude,
What? I don't know.
In context of the show. What do you think? In context of something on the show, what would be in my garage? It's still sitting there.
I have no...
Dude, it's my Red
I
Lobster
know.
booth.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, why didn't you say something?
Because it hit right as you said, dude.
Yeah.
All of a sudden it hit me.
So
it's still in your garage?
Yeah, it's in the garage.
I thought you brought it into the house.
No, it's not in the dining room yet. So for those that don't know, with the Red Lobster, and there's a reason why I'm bringing this up again. We got another Red Lobster casualty locally.
We do?
Yeah. Hang on. I'll they have a new CEO. So they're not closing. Lots of Red Lobsters. There were like 600 and something stores, and they've closed now. I think there's going to be a little over 100 now that are closing, 120, 130, whatever the number is. But another local store is closed. But for those that don't know, when they shut down the Largo store on Ulmerton, the items in the restaurant are being auctioned off. And it was a whole lot. It wasn't like you just go in there and you can piecemeal stuff. They auctioned off the entire restaurant, and we found out about this. And there was a website where people were bidding online to take everything. And we had noticed that the entire contents of the Red Lobster on Ulmerton, the bid was like $600 for everything, every bit of kitchen equipment. I mean, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stuff. All the tables, all the chairs, all the silverware, the glassware, everything. The freaking lobster net on the wall, everything.
You name it.
You can peel the carpet up if you want. You can rip the toilets out of the place if you want. So we talked about it on the show, and it turned out that an MJ Morning Show listener, and what was the name of the place up in Tarpon?
I don't remember. A tap house, tap house.
Yeah. So they heard about it on our show. They ended up bidding and winning, and they got everything for $13,800 or something like that.
That's really a
Wow.
steal.
And then I said, hey, guys, since we tipped you off, my wife and kids, they want a Red Lobster booth. I don't even remember how that came about. So they took everything because they had to clear everything out of the restaurant, and they saved a booth for me, and they had it in their warehouse up in Tarpon. And try and come up with the name of the place.
Johnny's Tap House.
Yeah, that's right. Johnny's Tap House in Tarpon. They were the winning bidder of everything in the Red Lobster on Ulmerton in Largo. And my kids and wife, they wanted a booth. And sure enough, they saved the booth. And then Wade at Two College Brothers sent the crew up, picked it up, and then delivered it to my house. And if you go back on my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, you'll see Wade and I sitting in the booth in my driveway that just got delivered by Two College Brothers moving in storage. So anyway, the reason why I'm bringing this up is I just walked by the booth, which is in one of my garage bays in the house. It hasn't been moved into the house, but it is in the garage. And the reason why I bring this up is another Red Lobster locally bites the dust. It is my extreme displeasure to announce that the Red Lobster on 19 in Port Richey is shutting down.
Oh.
On the list of additional locations to shut by August 31st. So Red Lobster, US 19 in Port Richey is going to close down by August 31st.
It's 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
You make it sound like it's far away. That's
way down the road on August 31st, man. Mark your calendars.
That's Saturday night.
Oh, it is.
When they close up on Saturday, you can never go back again.
Hold on. They could be closed already because it says by August 31st.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's closed. Or if you have tonight's Thursday, Friday, maybe you got a couple more nights to go to the Red Lobster in Port Richey before that one shuts down.
One last dash for the cash before we lock the place up.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Labor Day is Monday.
Yes.
All right, so everyone getting ready for the 3-day weekend, obviously. And it's kind of cute. This is cute.
Tell us.
Andrew found a list, producer Andrew in the booth. Andrew found a list of the top 10 songs to celebrate Labor Day.
Oh, I love it when you do cute stories, cute musical stories, no
All right.
less.
So Labor Day, is it appropriate to say Happy Labor Day? Because I don't say Happy Memorial Day because that's
No.
like for fallen vets or fallen people who've served in our military.
Yeah, there's nothing happy about Memorial Day. That's why I never liked it when people say, hey, happy Memorial Day. What the hell's happy about it? It's to memorialize those that fought for our country and paid the ultimate price and lost their life.
I mean, have fun that day. Enjoy your American freedom that day. However, I never say happy Memorial Day, but Labor Day, it's okay to say happy Labor Day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure.
Have a safe and happy Labor Day.
What if I don't want to be happy on a holiday? What if I just want to be, kind of flatlined?
Hey, MJ, have a grumpy Labor Day.
Thank you
Have
very
a
much.
very neutral Labor Day.
All right, let me play the list. We're counting them down from number 10 to number 1. So this is who the hell came up with this? I don't even know where the list came from.
Doesn't matter. Is it good?
Oh, you know who did it? Evite. You know the digital invitation thing. We've all gotten Evites for birthday parties, anniversary parties, whatever.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, Evite is a thing. Yes, yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Roxanne.
That's a thing.
Evite is an actual. It's a.
Yes, we've all gotten those.
It's a going concern.
Evite's a thing. Parties are a thing.
Yeah.
Songs are a thing.
Songs. They all are things. Yep.
Evite put out this list of the top 10 songs to celebrate Labor Day. And coming in at number 10 is...
A working class hero is something to be.
All right, this is the one that really sucks. I'm sorry, but it's number 10. I can't start at number 9. I'm starting... All right, if I didn't have to play that, I wouldn't. That was John Lennon and Working Class Hero. Coming in at number 9... celebration songs for Labor Day coming up on Monday.
It's been a hard day's night,
See?
and I've been working like a dog.
Working like a dog,
Yes.
Labor Day, working like you get it.
Very
Blah, blah, blah.
Lenin-centric list so far.
All right, well, that's where it ends. All right, oh, wait a second. I think that's it. Number 8. The number 8 celebratory Labor Day song is...
Back on the train.
Back on the Chain Gang. That was a great song. All right, Roxanne, who sings that?
Belinda Carlisle.
What? No.
Linda Ronstadt.
No, it's not Linda. Come on.
Pat Benatar.
Right.
All decent guesses.
The name of the band should be known instantly, and of course, the lead singer is one of my faves.
I know who it is.
You know, my favorite female leads. I love her. I love Annie Lennox.
Oh, we've heard you say that.
Yeah, I'm a big Annie Lennox and Grace Slick. Man, you talk about just incredible female vocalists. All right, so who was that? And don't look it up.
Well, she doesn't. She doesn't.
You don't know.
Alec, I'm not going to answer this question. I
I'm going to
refuse.
pretend to not know.
Oh, you just looked it up.
I'm going to pretend to not know.
Yeah, okay.
Pretenders.
Yeah.
You know what I have been busy doing over here?
Well, hold on. What did you just look up? You Googled
I looked
back
at Pretenders. It's the Pretenders.
No, you Googled back on the chain gang.
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah,
Just now I did
but
because it was going.
You had no idea that was the Pretenders.
No clue.
You didn't
No
know
clue.
she had no idea after she's guessing Pat Benatar?
Yes,
you say, don't look it up. She obviously doesn't know it. Either she looks it up or you say it.
Right,
But their hair kind of looks alike.
Roxanne.
Yes.
Who's the lead singer of the Pretenders? And don't cheat.
Well, I can't think of her name right now.
Yeah.
Linda Ronstadt.
It's not Linda Ronstadt was not the lead singer of the Pretenders.
Okay.
Chrissy.
Oh, I never would have guessed Chrissy Hind.
Yes. All right.
Never.
Oh.
Why would you? It's synonymous. Pretenders and Chrissy Hind.
Those two things don't even go together in my brain at all.
I listen to music. I don't know every detail about the music. I'm a much bigger joker.
1978. They were really hot. They formed in 1978. It's a little back in my memory. I did make a list, MJ, of 2 songs that better be on this list.
Right,
so we'll see if they are.
Okay, here we go. Coming in at number 7. These are celebration songs for Labor Day. Number 7 is... Make lots of money. Bum, bum, bum. Come on, the vocal, the lead singer there, the that should be instantly recognizable as to what group that is.
Is this a music quiz all of a sudden for us? Is that what
Well,
this is?
it's kind of turning into
Yeah,
that.
it's turning into that.
Because you
we
guys
don't
are
know.
you guys are musical morons.
Listen,
We are.
I am a talk radio guy, okay? That just happens to play a couple of songs.
Listen to the vocal.
Yeah, this isn't in the rotation.
No, this is not in rotation.
No.
We don't play that.
Unfortunately.
Well, one of their songs, I believe, is in rotation, not this one. Come on.
Oh,
Did
guys,
they sing "Don't You Want Me"?
No. That's
not-
Human League.
Human League.
Fine,
That's not
listen,
Human
If you're
League.
going to ask me to name bands, this is going to be a really bad segment.
Come on. I mean, that
The
voice.
Cars.
It's Pet Shop Boys.
Okay.
Come
Oh,
on.
yeah, but it didn't sound like
The
them.
Pet Shop Boys.
It sounds exactly like them.
No,
What are you
it
talking
sounded
about?
Too poppy.
No, that's what they do. The Pet Shop.
It sounded even
All right,
poppier than I
Can
than
I say the
picture
Pet
them.
Shop Boys is the worst name for a band?
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, like tell me you like dogs without telling me you like dogs.
They worked in a pet shop when they met and they started a band. That's why they're the Pet Shop
Well,
Boys.
That's
that's boy,
dumb
that's,
as-
that's unoriginal.
That's as dumb as saying
So
Nickelback worked at a
that-
coffee shop and the change was always a nickel.
That was number 7, Opportunities. Let's make lots of money. The next working song for Labor Day celebratory music, working for the weekend.
Boy,
On
this-
my list, everybody.
Boy,
There
this
you go.
Look.
that sure as hell's in the rotation.
All right,
Yeah.
number 5, celebratory Labor Day song. There you go. A little Bachman Turner Overdrive BTO. Coming in at number 4, Labor Day celebration songs.
Is this a celebration
Yeah.
song? I mean, I'll listen to this when I'm tripping on something.
Yeah, it sounds like
I'm glad you beeped it.
okay. All these songs, MJ. This is a list of songs that remind you of work.
Yeah, I mean, this. I'm not celebrating anything.
It's like I want to forget about work on Labor Day, and
Money.
yeah, I pay my bills.
Give me some LSD, and I'll sit there on the couch and listen to that.
And now we're up to number 3. We're playing songs to celebrate Labor Day, and the next labor-focused song is number 3.
Someday won't it ever, and someday pass on by. I'll be working here forever, at least until I die. Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
You know this.
Of course.
All right.
Next week you know damn well I won't. Working for a living, working for a living.
Again, this is a very recognizable lead singer.
Huey.
It is.
I'm taking what they're giving, cause I'm working for a living.
Huey Lewis in the news and working for a living, number 3. And now we're up to number 2. I wonder if this. And now we're up to the number 1 song to celebrate Labor Day.
I'm going to reveal it if it's this. I'm going to hold it up. And
Why don't you just show me what you think
What
it
do
is?
you,
Okay.
what do you think it is, Roxanne?
What
can
do
you
you think
read
it
this
is?
chicken scratch
Verbally
over
say
here?
what it is.
Let me
Is
see.
it-
on the radio. Tell us
Let
what
me
it is with
see.
your words.
Is it working?
All right.
Wow.
Tumble out of bed and you stumble to the kitchen, baby.
There were
Tumble
two.
out of bed and stumble to the kitchen.
Pour myself a cup of ambition.
Boy, the two of you're like Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton, boy. Let's do
You know
little
what?
islands in the stream
That's what I was
duet
gonna
with
say.
MJ and Roxanne.
That's what I was going to say. Roxanne and I ought to
Traveling act.
find the karaoke track for Islands in the Stream, and Roxanne will. And then Andrew came up with 2 consolation songs that were not on the top 10, but one could be. Friday. Oh, I'm sorry. Thursday. Thursday.
All right. I mean, if I never hear that song again, I might be all right.
And then,
what's the last one, Andrew?
Too bad for Jimmy Buffett.
That's
come
one of his
come
low-
Monday.
Yeah.
All right. So the best 2 songs on that list was Huey Lewis and Dolly Parton.
All right. I have a number 1 story and I have a number 2 story. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is.
Yep.
Oh,
it's
man.
the same number 1 and 2 that my kids know. And
Did we have a number 1 story yesterday about the guy at the concert?
we've had a lot of number 1 stories this
had
week because we also had a number 1 story about the guy in the hotel where Doug and I got engaged.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about is the guy that has a bladder problem and whizzed all over the lobby of a major hotel in New York in Times Square, and he got fired by his company, and he's suing his company because he claimed that he has a bladder issue they knew about, he couldn't hold it, and he just whizzed all over the lobby at this hotel.
Okay. That was 2 days ago.
Right.
Yesterday, we had a story about
that's
the
true.
Kenny Chesney concert where
yeah,
this
yes,
off-duty cop whizzed on some lady's leg.
That's right. The Cranston, Rhode Island police officer down at Foxborough at Gillette Stadium to see Kenny Chesney, and this off-duty cop whips it out and whizzes on a lady's leg at the concert.
We should
That's
save
right.
all the whiz stories for Wednesday and make a whole segment.
Whiz Wednesday?
Yeah. It's coming up at 7:45.
All right, well,
It's Whiz Wednesday.
Guess what? I have a combo platter for you today.
Yum.
Yes. So and one of them is local, man. Oh my God.
Is it really a combo platter? There's only 2 things.
Should we do it in order? Should we do number 1, then number 2?
Sure.
All right. Let's. Here's the number 1 story, and for whatever reason, this is not on local television. Our friends at the Smoking Gun, they must have dug deep into the Pinellas County arrest records. This is insane. They write, meet Dr. Giovanni Baula, B-A-U-L-A. The 59-year-old internist sold his Florida medical practice in 2022 to a fellow doctor. In recent months, Baula reportedly became upset over the business with the purchaser, Dr. Dylan Dinesh, 32, who runs affiliated health clinics out of Baula's former office here in St. Petersburg.
Okay.
Court records do not reveal the nature of the business dispute. Investigators allege that Baula went to Dinesh's office on July 30th and soaked the soaked the front doors in gallons of fluid which had the odor of urine.
Ew.
On August 17th, Baula allegedly returned to the property again and unleashed a cascade of rank-smelling fluid.
So he had to save it.
On both occasions, cops say that Baula and his vehicle were recorded by surveillance cameras. The urine-smelling liquid soaked into the front wooden doors, causing irreparable damage. Replacing the door will cost $1,500, according to the arrest affidavit, which reports that the medical practice suffered $6,000 in losses related to the urine attacks. So, did this guy pee in a big bucket for like days and then drove the pee bucket to the doctor's office that he had sold? And he's unhappy with the new doctor in the new office, and he's just throwing a bucket of his pee onto the door. I mean, what is it? And this right here in St. Petersburg.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
St. P.
Oh, we got it.
St. P.
That's
You know,
Petersburg.
I just have to, I'm thinking that it stinks even worse if it's, not fresh.
Oh, Roxanne.
What?
Really?
Facts.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the mugshot of Baula, who was arrested just the other day, charged with a felony count of criminal mischief. He was released from custody earlier this week after posting a $5,000 cash bond. Why wasn't this on Fox 13? Why wasn't this on Channel 8, Channel 28, Channel 10?
I want to hear Avery Cotton read
Bay
this
News
story
Urine.
to me.
I'm sorry, Bay News 9.
Yeah.
Why was so this is an actual police report from Pinellas County. This is unbelievable. According to state records, Baula's medical license, which expires in January, is active and lists his primary practice address as a $1.7 million waterfront home in Gulfport. Probably right down the street from Stetson. In 2003, Baula was formally reprimanded by the Board of Medicine, fined $10,000, ordered to perform 100 hours of community service after he improperly prescribed medication to an online client. He never gave a physical exam, ordered tests for, or provided an adequate diagnosis, among other standard of care violations. At the time, Baula was employed by virtualmedicalgroup.com, a telemedicine outfit, which appears now to be defunct. But the local story, this guy is pissed off, literally pissed off, and he pissed on. Through two occasions, threw what appears to be buckets of urine onto the front door of the medical practice he sold to another doctor.
Does he have like friends contribute to his collection? I mean, it's easy and hard to save that at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not impossible, but it's a lot of work. A lot of drinking
All right.
water.
Yeah.
That's our number one story today. You ready for the number two story?
I think it's going to be grosser.
Does it top the number one story?
Yeah, you know what? This is a nightmare.
The first one isn't?
That's a nightmare too.
Okay.
Is the first one pleasant?
This is nightmare number two here. All right. A couple out in Colorado. Pueblo, Colorado, to be exact. An Amazon package arrived at the door. John Rossiter and his wife, Sanathani, it's the wife's name, Sanathani. They're like in shock. They can't believe what happened. He said it was disgusting. I mean, disgusting. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this is terrible. Oh, my God, I can't believe this is happening. These are all quotes, by the way, with his interview with KOAA television out in Colorado. He said that on August 15th, he received a package that looked to be from Amazon. So it was one of those, you know, the white and blue, the light blue Amazon packages, like the plastic Tyvek packages, or a little bubble wrap kind of built. So he gets one of those packages, and it was like an Amazon package. He said he don't know what it was because it was kind of dark. I just gotten home from work. It was late at night. I cut open the package and looked in, but I couldn't tell what it was. I reached in. He reaches into the package. He said, then the smell hit me. It was on my hand. The Amazon package was loaded with poop.
Oh, my gosh.
What? Oh, my God.
That's making me, like, I have to stop gagging right now.
Oh, my God.
I like to say I'm amazed that this doesn't happen more often.
So he apparently ordered some guitar parts. He ordered guitar tuners. And those arrived like the day before, and then another package shows up. So he said that he was only expecting one Amazon package, but he gets a second one the next day, and I guess curiosity killed the cat. He opens the thing up, jams his hand inside, then the smell hits, and then his hand is like just covered. Somebody put an... What are you laughing at?
I find this comical.
Oh,
this is a revenge plot. I mean, who did it come from? I mean, this is he spited somebody, and you want to get somebody back, you mail him poop in a sealed envelope.
Well, I don't think it was mailed. I think it was dropped off at his front porch. So somebody took an Amazon package and somehow made it look fresh and resealed, but they dropped the,
we get it.
It's a duty package, and this guy jams his hand in.
It wasn't duty free.
No, it was not. It was duty filled.
Yes.
All right. So he was disgusted. He immediately reaches out to Amazon. Yeah, good luck with that. You end up with first of all, you ever try to call Amazon? You got to go through like 17,000 little pages on your app to then find like a number to call, and you finally get somebody in Indonesia. How'd that phone go? How'd that call go, or the Philippines or wherever? Yeah. You get the hello. This is Peggy. Oh yeah, I'm sure your real name is Peggy. Yeah, thank you. All right, so he gives Amazon the tracking number.
Don't give Peggy a hard time.
This is where it gets bizarre. Gives them the tracking number on the new package, and it turns out that it was the same tracking number as the package with the guitar tuners the day before. How did that happen? this is where it gets bizarre. So Rossiter said he frequently ordered items from Amazon, never had issues like this before. Yeah, I'm glad you never gotten crap in a pouch from Amazon. Yeah, I'm glad this hasn't happened. He said, we haven't had any arguments with anybody or anything that we can think of. We see the drivers occasionally say thank you. I never had any major issues with any of the drivers. I have no idea. They don't know who's responsible, but the same tracking number as the package that he got the day before. I wonder if it was the exact same. I wonder if they discarded the package in the trash and somebody took the old package from the day before out of the trash and then pooped in it and then put it on a. I mean, I'm trying to think.
How does that happen?
Exactly. Well, here's what Amazon has said. A spokesperson for Amazon provided this statement to KOAA Television News 5. This statement reads, we've reached out to the customer to apologize for this experience and get additional details to help with our investigation based off information shared by the customer and learnings from our preliminary review. We do not believe this package was dropped off by someone delivering on Amazon's behalf. However, we're continuing to investigate.
I hope there was an officer on duty who could solve this crime.
Nice. Yes.
The only explanation that I have that it's the same tracking number and label, and that did they throw away the legitimate package from the day before, and then someone grabbed that out of their trash?
Used it, sealed it, threw it back on his stoop?
Exactly.
Wow.
We've secretly put poop inside this Amazon package. Let's see if the customer will realize it. I mean, what was this, a hidden camera prank show? Is that not unbelievable or what? That's crazy. All right, 7:54 at the MJ Morning Show. Hey, I got a gift in the mail. This is funny. I opened up a box earlier today, and I'm happy to say it was not filled with poop.
You have it now? You bring it in?
Yeah, I'm going to the back of the room to get it. Yeah, look at this. Look what someone sent me.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, I'm holding this up to MJ TV, and this is a laser image on, like, white ceramic tile, and it's mounted on a wooden plaque, and it's the crotchety old man character.
That's so cool.
It's the artwork that was on the album covers.
Yeah.
It's Milton Fludgecow. So, no, this particular picture is off the T-shirt. Remember we sold the, this is a little piece of MJ Morning Show, or actually back then it was MJ and BJ.
Is that the Show Me the Crotchety shirt?
Yeah, and it was banned in a bunch of school systems. But it didn't mean show us your crotch. So that was back when Jerry Maguire was big, back in the, mid-late 90s. And remember Jerry Maguire, show me the money. Remember that? So we put out, on top of the 350,000 CDs we sold, we put out a couple of T-shirts, and one of them was artwork, a Scott Ross piece of artwork, a great artist, Scott Ross, a local guy. He did our crotchety artwork.
Is he related to Bob Ross?
No. And one of the pieces of artwork was this image of Milton Fludgecow, the crotchety old man, on his phone screaming. That was the front of the T-shirt. And then the back said, show me the crotchety. And a whole bunch of schools would not let kids wear the T-shirt. We sold like 20,000 T-shirts. It was unbelievable. And these T-shirts were all over the place. And some school systems locally said, you can't. They banned the shirt from school because they misunderstood. It was like, show me the crotchety, mean show me the crotchety old man, based on show me the money from Jerry Maguire. It wasn't show me your crotch. It was just misunderstood. Anyway, thank you. Let me read this note here. Hello, MJ Morning Show. I've been a long-time listener. I'm sending you a small gift. I understand you guys are having your studio redone. I thought you would like something to spruce up your workspace. I'm a local laser engraver. I use lasers to create art. Yours was created on a 40-watt diode laser using what is called the Norton white tile method.
Oh, wow.
It's a 6x6 white tile painted white, then black. The paint that is used is high in titanium dioxide. This chemical reacts with the laser, superheated. Anyway, Christopher Patterson from Tampa Bay Laser Works.
That's awesome.
Sent me this amazing crotchety old man plaque. And you know what? Isn't it fitting that I play a classic crotchety old man crank call right now?
Yes.
Right. One of my favorites is the garage door. One of our great sponsors on the MJ Morning Show is Banco Overhead Doors.
Yes.
But there are other overhead door companies. Of course, I recommend Banco. Any repair issue, you need a new opener, whatever, hurricane-rated garage door, any issue, of course, you call Banco. Bank on Banco, bancodoors.com. This is the Milton Fludgecow crotchety old man garage door call. And again, this was not a call to Banco. This was a different company, I think back in like 1996 or something. Classic crotchety. And thanks, I really do appreciate it. Christopher Patterson, Tampa Bay Laser Works. Thank you. I'm holding it up again to MJTV. Thanks again for this amazing laser-etched artwork of the crotchety old man.
Overhead door.
Oh, thank God you've answered. Let me speak to the imbecile that frigged up my garage door.
Hold on, please. This is the service department. How may I help you?
Oh, thank God you've answered. Let me speak to the imbecile that frigged up my garage door.
Okay, sir. When did we come out and do a service?
I called for some simple preventive maintenance to have my tracks lubed, and now it's a complete disaster.
Okay, sir. Let me look up the paperwork. What is your last name?
Listen to this. I'm out in the garage now. Listen to the garage door. Did you hear that? It sounds like it's coming off the tracks. Here, okay. Listen again. All right, I'm lowering the door now. It sounds like it's coming off the tracks. It's scraping. It's shooting sparks. It looks like the whole thing's about to collapse onto my car.
Okay, can I get your last name, please?
Fludgecow, Fludgecow. I had problems with you people from the start. First of all,
wait, hold on a minute.
No, you hold on a second, please.
No.
The big, fat, smelly crap for brains guy that came out here didn't have a clue.
You know what? You can calm down and call us back a little later. I don't have to listen to that kind of talk.
Wait a sec. Don't hang up on me. I just want to tell you, my kid's gerbil could have done a better job on this garage door than that guy that came out and he didn't know his ass from his elbow.
Okay, you don't... Okay, I'll help you.
Yes.
But you don't have to use language like that with me.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I've got your last name and give me your town, sir.
I'm elderly and I'm very irritated right now.
I understand.
I'm also a little hard of hearing.
I understand, and I can talk loud enough so you can hear.
I'm out in the garage on the portable phone. Maybe you can diagnose the problem on the phone.
I can't diagnose. I'm just going to have to get the paperwork. Hold on, please.
Here it is. Okay. It's scraping. Now, do you hear that?
I do hear it,
Okay,
sir.
listen. I'm going to push.
Don't keep using the garage door. Don't keep running it up and down.
What did you say?
Don't keep running it up and down. Leave it alone. Let me see if I can get somebody out there.
You want me to run it one more time?
No, don't run it again.
Okay, here it is.
Don't run it again, sir.
I'm pushing the button so you can hear the noise. Push. It's like it's jamming or something. It sounds like it's going to wobble and fall right off and smash my car.
Don't keep running the door up and down, all right? Leave the door alone.
Okay.
Did you say the spelling of your last name was F as in Frank, Ludgecow?
Yes, Fludgecow.
Okay,
I live at 4206 Flicka Flacka Lane. Flika Flicka Flacka Lane.
Okay, hold on, please.
Listen to this real quick. I'm going to run the garage door again.
Sir, don't run it anymore.
Okay, here you go. It's got a very, 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 very bad sound, like it's about to come off the track.
Don't keep running the door.
Okay, I'll run
Leave it alone.
I'll run it for you one more time.
No, sir.
Here. Okay, it's running again. Push.
I asked you to not run the door anymore.
Okay, I'll run
it. Leave the door. Don't run it again.
Okay.
I've heard the door lots of times. Don't do it again. Leave the door alone.
Okay.
Let me see if we can get somebody out there to help you.
Yes, I would like a technician to come out and look at it as soon as possible.
Sir, we can.
I also have another problem with the door. Now, when the the door comes down, once it hits an object like a garbage pail, isn't it supposed to stop and reverse itself?
If it's a newer opener or any type of opener, it's supposed to reverse itself.
Hang on a sec. I'm going to run the door again.
Sir, don't run it again.
I'm going to stand underneath the door.
Sir, don't stand under the door.
I want you to listen as it hits me here. Okay, I'm running the door now. It's getting close to my head. I'm getting a little...
You know what? This is a really sick joke. Okay? Don't call us back anymore.
I can't breathe.
Again, that was not Banco.
No.
You can bank on Banco, a great sponsor on the show. That was a different garage door company. Stop running the door, sir. Okay, I'll run it for you one more time. Oh, and my garage doors, because Banco just put in the new LiftMasters for me.
Yeah.
I'm an endorser, compensated endorser for Banco, and Banco and LiftMasters put in the latest greatest garage door openers like a week ago, and I mean you don't even hear them. They are like smooth and quiet as butter. It's like I could put like a sleeping baby on the door, and the baby wouldn't be awakened. We got to try that. We got to shoot a video with that. Yeah. Anyway, the garage door opener, classic crotchety. And again, thanks to our listener that sent us the Milton Fludge Cow engraved laser. It is 8:04 at the MJ Morning Show, so the window is opened. We will shortly play the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. Don't call yet, because I want to take calls on something else first. Don't call yet. I want to take calls on the referee situation. Remember, Fester, we talked about this. Well, this has come up multiple times over the years on the show. A couple of days ago, there's a story out, and I saw this, and we mentioned it briefly toward the end of the show yesterday. I said, you know what, let's bring this up earlier in the show and take some phone calls tomorrow. There is not only a nationwide shortage of referees for, like, kids' sports, but the shortage has absolutely hit the Tampa Bay area. And you know what it is? The main reason why there's a shortage is the referees are sick and tired of being verbally abused, in some cases physically abused. I mean, it has gotten rough out there for kids' sports where some of the parents are just absolute friggin' maniacs.
It's not the dream job it used to be.
Yeah, the parents are the worst part of the whole deal.
Tons of parents, and I recognize this, and I'd love to go to phones. Not the contest yet. We'll do the inflation smasher right after we take a few calls here. But I would like to take calls from parents. What's like the worst behavior that you've witnessed? I mean, I know that we've taken calls in the past where a parent has like assaulted the ump behind home plate because they like called their kid out on strikes, and the parent jumps out of the stands and beats the crap out of the ump. I mean, that stuff happens. All right, let me grab a couple of calls on this. There is a referee and an umpire shortage nationwide, and it has struck the Tampa Bay area. And this has been a problem this is like not like brand new. It's getting to like a real critical point here. So if you're a parent, yes, if you've ever witnessed another parent go just ballistic on the ref, whether it's softball, baseball, soccer, football, whatever, if you've noticed really obscene behavior toward the refs, I would love to hear your story here quickly. Also, are you a ref? Do you still referee or umpire? And have you had problems? Are you a former ref or umpire and you walked away because of the abuse? All right, hit the phones right now. 800-990-1047. We'll take a few calls on this, and then we'll just morph right into the solicitation for the contest. But don't call for the contest yet. The cash is on the way in just a minute. But I want to go to phones on this whole referee thing, and it is a major, major problem. You know, we spent a lot of time at games. You know, Chloe started playing soccer at the Y on Himes when she was like 3 years old. And Chloe stuck with it, played all kinds of club soccer. Ended up playing local club soccer. Then we were in New York for a little bit. She played for, a Long Island team. And then was recruited. She had a number of Division I, Division II. She had D1, D2, D3 all trying to recruit her. And Chloe ended up playing Division I women's soccer at University of New Hampshire. But we saw a bunch of, just horrific events over the years. I mean, we've seen parents, run onto the field and, get in the ref's face. I mean, I've seen some crazy crap.
And you never did that.
No, I would never do. No. I absolutely never, ever did that.
Okay.
I would watch, and locally, there was, one parent that used to F-bomb the refs all the time during the soccer games. Let's go to calls here. Phones are loaded. Sam, first up in Oldsmar. Sam, hi, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, good morning. I was just calling about the umpires in Little League. Yeah. I've coached my son's team since T-ball, which has been 8-9 years in the running now. And the umpires were good in the beginning, and then, as you said, parents are running them out with fighting with them and arguing with them. And we've lost a lot of good ones locally, and now they're just putting anybody in padded gear to stand behind the plate. There's no experience with them, and the parents just go absolutely nuts, and you can't get anybody anymore.
Right, so it's feeding the problem even more. So the parents were out of control with the qualified umps, and now they're putting, unqualified umps in, and the parents are getting even more jacked?
Oh, they're eating them alive because they can't get anybody behind the plate or on the field, and they're all inexperienced, so the parents are just taking advantage of their incompetency.
Oh, wow. So, Sam, what is the worst interaction? What is the worst you've ever seen with a parent and an ump?
I would say probably an umpire we had where he was the father of one of the players, and it was completely subjective on his side.
Oh, wow.
And everything went their way, and we knew why, but he swore he was doing the best job.
Yeah, but was there a confrontation? I'm looking for fighting, yelling.
Yeah, there was a confrontation with our team, and he actually called the game and said that our coaches were out of control, and he literally called the game and sent everybody to the parking lot.
Oh, wow. All right, Sam, thanks for the call. See, this is what every line is jammed. Every line. Thank you, Sam. Brian, Tampa. Brian, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, I used to umpire up in Massachusetts. It's actually my first job when I was between 13 and 16 until I could get a real job. And the parents were just absolutely terrible. I recall one time it was 9-year-old playoff, and I wasn't even supposed to umpire. I got called 15 minutes before. Somebody canceled, so they sent me and my brother over there to umpire super last minute, and it was a brutal game. Nobody could throw strikes. 9-year-olds. So the game just took forever.
What is the worst thing that you encountered? What's the worst thing that hit you during that game?
After the game, one of the parents said, during the game, they said, I'll meet you out in the parking lot after I think I rung up his son on a strike 3 call.
Was it a swing? Was it a swing, or was it just a called strike?
Called strike.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'll be honest, I had a big strike zone because game needed to get moving. Kids weren't.
So he's threatening to beat the crap out of you in the parking lot after the game?
Yes.
Did he confront you after the game?
Yes, there was a confrontation. There were no punches thrown, but what really got to me is at the end they were like, well, you guys didn't even want to be here. And it was listen, you have no idea. We weren't even supposed to freaking be here. You just
Wow. Brian, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you checking in on this. Have a great one.
Yeah.
All right, let me grab Kerry in Tampa. Kerry, you're on the MJ Morning Show. If you're just tuning in, we'll do the money in just a minute, the inflation smasher, right after I take these calls. We're talking about the referee shortage, ref and ump shortage nationwide, and it is bad also here in the Tampa Bay area. We are seeing a shortage of umps and refs, and really the primary driver is they're tired of abusive parents. Go ahead, Carrie.
Hi, MJ. So this is a little concerning for me because my son is in a soccer league, and they haven't started up yet. They're going to be starting next week. But they had sent an email to all the parents asking for referees. And apparently, in order to be a referee, you needed to be ages 10 and older.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah, so I guess they've gotten that desperate to have 10-year-olds. So that's a little concerning now that I know that how aggressive parents are being.
Oh, yeah.
I think nothing of punching a 10-year-old if he calls the wrong strike.
I'll kick your 10-year-old ass.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Carrie. Have a good one. Steve is in Largo. Steve. Hey, Andrew, let me just clear out these lines so I can do the cash contest. Phones have exploded. Steve, Largo, you're on MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hey, MJ, yeah, I've done refereeing before, and I did it in early 90s, and then I went back to it in like in the early 2000s. I just, in Largo at a football game, at a youth football game, one of the coaches actually jumped one of the refs after the game from the Largo for Youth Little League football team, and after that, we refused to, even the association refused to ref those games for that association unless they fired the coach.
Wow. Hey, Steve, my wife just sent me a text. Michelle said, hey, don't forget some of Chloe's games were out of control, including, and I know that because I talked about some of Chloe's games, which just got really rough, with parents screaming at the refs. But Michelle just sent me a text. Remember, at one of Chloe's games, they had to have police there. They were hired for the event because of problems. They had law enforcement was hired for off-duty security to keep the peace at one of Chloe's soccer games some time ago.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's insane.
Crazy, dude.
Thank you, buddy. Have a great day, Steve. Tammy in Wesley Chapel. Tammy, MJ Morning Show.
Hey.
Hey, Tammy, go ahead.
So I have 3 children, and we're big soccer fans, and all 3 of my kids ref. And my oldest is almost 30, and he's ref since he's been 14, and he is the best ref ever. So he will not, like, if they confront him, he won't talk to him, but there has been, he's told me so many stories, like even the coaches, they get up in his face, and he just looks at him and he says, you need to step away now. And he's just so calm.
Yep.
But it's just terrible. And the parents and my husband coached. And I'm talking like we go to games, and my oldest also played competitive like your daughter. He probably coached one of your daughter's games, but because he does it all over. He's a competitive soccer ref. And even my husband, like one time he was coaching for just little girls, like 10, and one of the parents was like yelling and swearing and saying the F-bomb, and he literally went up to her and he said, look, if you don't stop swearing, you're not going to be here. I'm going to,
Wow. Has your son ever thought about quitting because it's so bad?
Well, now, I will tell you, my oldest has not, because it's really good money, but it costs a lot, and that's what sucks too. It costs them a lot to be refs. They have to pay background checks. They have to take classes. They have to revert.
They're going out of their way. They don't deserve to be abused. The way they're going out of their way to do this. Thank you, Tammy. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
I just got another text from Chloe, my daughter Chloe, who is the former Division I soccer player, and Chloe wants me to shout out her Uber driver right now. So, Karen has my precious cargo on board. Karen is Chloe's Uber driver right now to the state attorney's office in downtown Tampa. And Karen is a super listener here on the MJ Morning Show. So, hello, Karen, the Uber driver. Thanks for listening to the MJ Morning Show. All right, Andrew, no more calls on this. I'll take Slevin, Kevin, and James. I got Kevin James and Slevin Kevin. All right, hang on a minute. Is it Slevin? Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are. MJ, how are you this morning?
We're doing well. All right, so what's your deal with referees and umps? What have you witnessed?
All right, MJ. So I've been refereeing flag football for probably about 8 years now in the greater Tampa Bay area.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the next 4 years, we're going to have flag football in the Olympics. So it's a big deal for a lot of these parents and a lot of these children, especially in the 9 to 12-year-old age bracket, to be able to get prepared enough for possibly competing in the Olympics. Now, the problem with that is parents tend to live a little too vicariously through their children.
Yep.
In many situations, parents erupt, especially coaches. And that problem becomes almost habitual in the fact of it never being rectified in several leagues where we have asked people to leave.
Hey, Slevin, your phone is getting really, really bad up in Spring Hill. It's dropping in and out. And
get closer to the sinkhole.
Yeah, but there was a parent that was told not to come to the games anymore. I remember at one of Chloe's soccer's game, this is locally, one of the parents was told, don't come to the games anymore because you're abusive to the coaches. Slevin, thank you, buddy. I appreciate the call.
Dropping.
All right, yeah, his phone's having trouble.
We'll figure it out.
All right, let me grab the last two. Fester, yeah, bring my...
Kevin and James.
Yeah, Kevin. Hey, Kevin, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, good morning, buddy.
Hey,
before I moved down here and started driving truck, I coached youth sports and middle school and high school sports for 30 years in Ohio. And I actually quit right before I moved down because of the parents. And we've had instances like I had to ban one of my own friends. I had to kick one of my own friends out of a high school game for cussing at the coaches.
Wow.
I had to ban a mother for the year from a middle school facility because she used the F-bomb as an adjective, adverb, noun, pronoun, and every other way she could figure out how to use it.
Yeah. Really, isn't it? It's all of the above,
It's
right?
an amazing word.
Yeah,
really.
I had a mom. I had a kid get hurt in practice. He unfortunately broke his arm. She showed up drunk, so I had to call the police department and get her, and I had to ride to the hospital with the kid until his dad could meet me there. And then when I was coaching baseball, the president of our baseball league got thrown out by a 14-year-old umpire because he was up there kicking dirt on the 14-year-old. He was the president of our baseball league.
My God.
That's only 4 of like 5,000 stories. It's just... Wow. It's crazy. I mean,
Kevin, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Let me squeeze in James, and Andrew says I got to take Will as the final call. All right, James and Valrico. James, go. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. From a board member, former board member of a youth soccer club here locally in Tampa, I attended AGM meetings in the state of Florida for the whole state several years ago. And the topic of one of the main meetings was the parents and their conduct during the games. What caught me off guard and really told me we had a real problem in youth sports was when the state regulating board opened the discussion for how we treat parents during a soccer game, a competitive soccer game, when they act out. The coaches stood up to defend their players because the idea was to remove the player from the game if the parent acted up. And the coaches stood up and said, well, how are we supposed to tell our best player they can't play because of the way their parent acted? My opinion, that's the biggest problem we have right there. Why should we explain to a kid why they can't play instead of their parent who acted up?
Yeah, the kid shouldn't be banned. The parent should be banned. I absolutely agree.
Well,
James, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, but that was the problem. Parents get banned, the kids still play. They were trying to stricken the rule because the parents were still continuing.
Yep.
And the only way to get to the parent was to affect their kid and remove them from the game when the parent got removed.
So what happened?
And this was a huge discussion.
So what eventually happened?
At that meeting, it was inconclusive at that time.
Okay, gotcha.
That year. They did not enforce that, but it's gotten that bad.
Yeah, absolutely. James, thanks for the call. All right, last call, and then we give away the money. The MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher is moments away. Will in Tampa, final call on the referee and the umpire situation locally and nationally, out of control. There's a total shortage because so many umps and refs don't want to do it anymore because of the abuse that they're getting. Will, go ahead. You're up.
Hey, good morning, MJ. Listen, so I'm a retired deputy from Tampa, And years ago, I had to respond to a fight or a threat, rather, at a town and country little league game.
Right.
We get there. Apparently, the parent of one of the kids, that was like a 10 or 11-year-old, got kicked out of the field and wanted to threaten the umpire. So as we get there, this parent is cussing out the umpire. We get there, and he's walking towards his truck. I asked him to stop. He said he's going to go ahead and shoot everybody from or not shoot everybody, but the umpire from the field because his kid got thrown out of the game.
Oh, my God.
We literally had to hog tie this parent and fight him, and before he got in the truck. Once we got in the truck, because of his threat, we actually found a loaded .45 inside of his glove box, which he was going for.
Man, so he got a trip down to Falkenberg, huh? Or down to Orient Road, right?
Absolutely, and he ended up being a county employee.
Oh, great. How long you been retired?
About 10 years.
Well, thanks for your service, I would imagine, to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
You got it.
All right, buddy. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. All right, Will in Tampa. All right, there we go. I mean, the phones, we turned calls away. The phones exploded on this.
And you had to curse at those callers like they were parents at a soccer game.
Yeah. Leave the refs and the umps alone. You're driving them out of the business. There's a shortage of refs and umps. All right, let's do the money right now. Let's go with, what do you want to pick? Roxanne, you pick a caller. What number?
83.
All right, caller 83 right now. If you are the 83rd caller, 800-990-1047, you get to play the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. You could win up to $1,000 in cash. Nothing less than $500. You get on the phone if you're caller 83, 800-990-1047. And we start up the machine. You tell us when to smash the glass. You get the cash behind the glass when it's smashed. So caller number 83 right now, 800-990-1047. That's 800-990-1047. And you get to play. Simple as that. You ready to talk about car sex?
I'm always ready to talk about car sex.
Listen, folks, let me tell you right now, this is not going to get graphic, so, you know.
This is a PSA.
Listen.
Yeah.
It's really a PSA.
This is hysterical. A couple was getting busy in their 2020 Range Rover. This is not a cheap vehicle. You know, a couple of year old Range Rover.
Mm-hmm.
Range Rovers are, expensive vehicles.
Sure.
Couple was getting busy in the car. While they were getting busy, the gear shift lever got kicked. The car rolled down an embankment into the water while they were in the back seat. Now, they survived. They didn't drown or anything. But this is like a public service announcement. They were having relations in the back of a 2020 Range Rover near the Schuylkill River in Fairmount Park. This is just outside of Philadelphia. Probably driven right by there.
So is a Range Rover a car you'd want to probably more so do in the front seat?
No, they kicked the gear shifter.
There was more space in the back. They were doing it in the back. Because,
right. And so I'm picturing they were climbing back there to do it, they were already in the act?
They were doing it. They were in the back.
Wild
and
couple.
One of the feet kicked the gear shift lever. It bumped the lever. Moments later, the Range Rover tumbled over the edge, sank into the water about 2 miles from Philadelphia City Hall. The unidentified couple jumped out of the SUV before the vehicle hit the water and sunk below the surface. Neither were injured.
Were their clothes still in the vehicle? What was their state of dress or undress?
Standing there at the side of the river?
That is a very good question, Roxanne. I don't know.
Hey, what do we know about this couple? Were they, parents who needed to get away from their kids?
Unidentified, or maybe it was an affair, or who the hell knows? They're in a city or a state park along the Schuylkill River in the Philadelphia area. And I would imagine that a police report is public record, that you could probably get a hold of the names. Police told NBC 10 Philadelphia that the couple were getting busy when the freak mishap occurred. Yeah, the Range Rover was lugged out of the water about 9 a.m. Images of the SUV show it wholly submerged in the river near the Strawberry Mansion Bridge, if you know the area. So,
all right, so this happened at 4:30 in the morning.
yeah, it was a 4:30 in the morning. It was 4:15. So the Lovebirds were boom, 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 boom in the back seat. 4:15 in the morning in a 2020 Range Rover, and then the vehicle was pulled out like 5 hours later at 9 a.m. And they were able to get out of the vehicle. Listen, they could have drowned in there.
Oh,
they could have drowned in the vehicle. That would have been rough.
This is a real down by the bank with the hanky pank.
Yeah.
Remember that song?
I don't remember. What?
We talked about this on the show one time.
Do it again?
It's a nursery rhyme.
Yeah, it's a
right?
nursery rhyme. It's a clap game. Down by the bank with the hanky pank, say bullfrog jump. But we could make up new songs. Get in your Range Rover and, yeah.
Go ahead. Keep going. Let the comedy just
I'm not going to bastardize a children's rhyme. No.
Too late. MJ.
Yeah. Oh, no charges.
What's the public service message here? Put on your emergency brake if you're going to get hot and heavy in the back seat of the car?
Or watch your feet. Watch your feet and don't kick the gear shift lever.
You can't always control that. Once in a while, I have that crazy wonky leg that goes sideways right about that time, if you know what I mean. It's like, yeah, I mean.
Good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who is this?
This is Van, V-A-N.
Van, where are you calling from?
Tampa, Florida.
Van in Tampa. Van, thank you for listening to the MJ Morning Show. Van, guess what?
Get out of town.
Van, you're caller number 83. You win. You get to play the game.
Shut the front door.
Shut the front. Van, you are in. I'm not pulling your leg. You scared Andrew. I knew you were doing front door. All right, Van, you get to play the game. It's the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher. I'm guessing that you know how it works, right?
Yes, sir.
What do you do for a living, Van?
I'm an IT consultant.
Oh, fantastic. All right, Van, we're going to fire up the machine, and once the machine gets going, you just yell out, smash the glass, and we see how much money you will win. There is nothing less than $500. The top prize is $1,000. Are you ready to play?
Yes, let's do it.
Van, let's fire up the machine.
The MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher has been activated.
Van, it is activated. Van, let it spin, and you say smash the glass when you're ready, and we'll see how much money you win.
3, 2, 1, smash the glass.
You've won $1,000.
That's awesome. What?
Van,
That's amazing.
$1,000. You got it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Van, it is our distinct pleasure to reward a listener like you. I hope you're a regular listener and you just didn't tune in for the first time today.
Absolutely.
Right.
Oh, yeah, for a long time. Yes, sir.
Van, thank you very much. You just got the top prize. You got $1,000.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It is our pleasure. Van, hold on. I'm going to put you on hold. Andrew, the producer, is going to get all your information so you can get your check.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah, this Thursday is a little better for you now, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Van, hang on. All right, Andrew, line 5 on Van. Look at that.
I love how you segued from a story about a car or SUV to a vehicle, Van. The winner.
His name's Van.
Yeah, perfect.
The only thing better would be if his name was like Rover. You know, because it was a Range Rover or...
Yeah.
We did not ask his dog's name.
But we did go from one vehicle to another. You know, Van.
Perfect.
Yeah, Van. Wow, Inflation Smasher. That was the top prize. He got $1,000, and then the next chance to play happens after 3 o'clock. So keep listening. After 3 o'clock today, your chance to play with Gino in the afternoon with the MJ Morning Show Inflation Smasher, and then we'll play it again just after 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, going into Labor Day weekend here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. I don't know what is wrong with passengers. We have had a multitude of stories. We've had the crazy stuff. We've had the, that person is not real, the hallucinating, just crazy stuff. We had, what are some of the stories we've had recently? We had, the guy with the bleeding hair plugs at Miami, and they told him to get off the plane. And
so many stories.
Dripping blood everywhere, and he ends up getting pepper spray. I wonder if the pepper spray got into his, hair plug wounds. That's got to sting and burn, right?
Can't feel good.
All right, well, people behave badly on airplanes, but the discourtesy, the people that just have no care about their fellow passengers and those that are surrounding. Listen to this. Passenger appalled as the couple changes a dirty diaper in his row right next to him. So you got a row of 3. He's in the row, and they drop the tray table down. They put their infant on the tray table, and they're changing a dirty, poopy diaper right. I mean, go to the freaking lavatory on the commercial planes these days for a long time. They've got the baby fold-down tables in the lavatory on the aircraft.
Do they always? I haven't.
Yeah, they all the commercial flights, all the commercial jets these days, one of the bathrooms has the changing table.
I have to give thanks to my husband because he is the one who always got that job.
Oof.
If there was a diaper accident on the plane, I'm like, you're up, buddy, because he's big enough and strong enough to hold the baby so she doesn't touch anything in that little bathroom.
Yeah, this was a Delta flight recently. 2 parents just ripped apart by this other passenger as he had to watch them change a dirty diaper in the row on the fold-down table right in front of him.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
I change my kid anywhere.
Yeah, come on, Fester,
Yeah,
really?
dude, yeah.
This guy, this person posted his complaint on a Reddit thread. The people in the row are changing a poopy diaper, saying that quote, the smell is horrendous.
That's the way it goes, man.
Delta flight.
Yep.
But luckily, a flight attendant did come up and stopped it mid clean.
Too late now.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit late, but that's just the people that just have no courtesy for other passengers and no regard.
Let me tell you what every person on that plane has in common. I'm never going to see any of them again when we land, okay? So I don't care. Same thing with theme parks or the mall, for that matter. I am never going to see any of these people ever again in my life. I don't care at all.
Man, every time I fly, I see people I know. Every time.
Well, hold on, Fester. So you're gonna do abhorrent acts and behavior on an airplane because you say I don't care.
Abhorrent? No, change my kid's diaper? Sure.
Why would you change it? Why wouldn't you go back to the lavatory and change your diaper there?
Bang it out right there. Listen, there's more possibilities for destruction carrying a poopy diaper kid down the walkway, hallway, aisleway.
All right, so remember, you have a couple that folded down the tray table and they're changing a diaper on that tray.
Must have been a little kid. Couldn't have been too big.
You ready for the second one?
Then it was what? Meal service?
No. This is this is a different flight. This is a whole different story. This is another post. This was a video that somebody shot, and what is described as a baking influencer. These days you've got these influencers. You name it, there's an influencer for it, or somebody that's shooting videos and shooting reels on Instagram or TikTok reels. Everyone wants to be an influencer. Everyone's trying. Yes, Fester.
Like you.
No, I am not trying to be.
By name only.
No, I am not trying to be an I'm a radio personality, and I use my Instagram as an extension of this show. If I didn't have this radio show, I wouldn't even have an Instagram account. I would be running away from social media at warp speed if I didn't need social media as a companion to this show.
I was going to say, I've noticed lately that so many airplane stories star an influencer. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That is a very good observation.
Yeah, anytime somebody says they're an influencer, I automatically don't believe the story.
Guess what? You name the category, you name the profession, the occupation, the interest, the hobby, and there's an influencer out there. Well, this is a baking influencer. Well, guess what? The baking influencer decided to make sourdough on the plane, on the tray table in front of their seat. That literally, they whipped out all the components for sourdough bread. They had all the little parts, maybe the starter, the flour, the water. They're mixing the dough. They're making the dough on the plane, on the tray table. But also the point is, think of the story just before.
Yeah.
Did you sanitize that table? I mean, the tray table is disgusting.
Maybe her sourdough calls for tray table mung.
Oh, my God.
Just a pinch.
I like for my sourdough.
Yeah, we're gonna use we're gonna use some diaper starter. What do you think for our sourdough?
Cornstarch powder.
I mean, this Maria Baradell. I guess that's the baking influencer, and she's talking about her sky high cooking hack of making sourdough bread on an airplane. Now, she didn't bake it because she didn't have a little portable oven to plug into the accessory outlet. But she made the dough.
Does the altitude help help with the rising of the?
You know what?
Here's the video, MJ. I'm watching her.
Yeah, I know. Listen, if you study bread science, I mean humidity and altitude. Hey, on recipes, there are high altitude changes you have to make. Water boils differently, just things behave. Listen, when we're out in Colorado, when we're out in Vail skiing, cooking pasta at 8,000 feet, it's a whole different ball game than cooking pasta at sea level at my house in South Tampa, or 11 feet above sea level, in my case, because my land is 6 and my house is 11.3. But big difference cooking pasta here than cooking pasta at 8,000 feet out in Colorado. But, I mean, come on. Yeah, this woman flew from the U.S. to Spain, and she's cooking or Festa, this is Festa brought up the video.
She calls it the Mile High Sourdough Club.
Yeah, exactly. And she's in her freaking seat with a bowl, and there's no audio, there's just music. And she's making the dough. She's folding the dough. She's making a dough ball. And she's got cameras set up around her seat. Guess what? If I were a passenger next to her, I think I'd throw her out of the emergency exit.
The first comment on her video is, as a flight attendant, I'm going to say, ew. The last passenger was there clipping their toenails, and now you're making sourdough in that seat.
Oh, no, it says, and another passenger puked on that table.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Needless to say, the armrest that you're touching is where some dude's unwashed hands from the lavatory were as well.
Ugh.
Another woman changed her baby's diaper since the bathroom wasn't sanitary enough, in her opinion. I've seen it all. Believe me, now there's you kneading and folding sourdough in your airplane seat. Enjoy your germ bread.
I mean, what did it all bake off? I mean, honestly, it's dead germ bread.
This is from Isabel, a flight attendant who left a message on her Instagram video here.
She's exactly right.
Oh, my God. That's just gross. And I think the story... Yeah, here we go. I remember this, and it's in the story. In December, another food influencer raised eyebrows after cooking garlic shrimp in an airplane lavatory.
Dude, every comment is bashing this poor girl.
Oh, well, they should. Well, she's making... You ought to see her. She has her bare hands, and she's folding the sourdough. Then she puts a wet cloth over the bowl. I mean,
let it rise.
Yeah, this is all on an airplane ride at 38,000 feet.
Funny.
I mean, she's got a bowl. She pours in the flour. This is all on her tray table. What if someone is making freaking bread dough next to you on your flight?
You know what? This is what influencers crave. They're doing anything they can to get any kind of attention, and here she is getting it. No publicity is bad publicity in the influencer world.
Anyway, you know what? I'm tired of influencers.
I love them.
You know what? Let me tell you right now. There needs to be a pandemic that just affects influencers. Like the monkeypox eye variation. That's monkeypox influencer. It just takes out influencers. That's it.
Be a lot of monkeypox videos.
Oh, my God. Just unbelievable. Oh, guess who's coming to St. Pete?
Who?
Foot Locker.
Oh, good.
Corporate headquarters.
Oh, wow. That's big.
This is big news. They're fleeing New York. So the Foot Locker corporate headquarters are coming to St. Petersburg. I guess there's all kinds of incentives, tax breaks, and all kinds of incentives that are being thrown their way from the city of St. Petersburg.
I was about to say, there's already a Foot Locker at like the Tyrone
Yeah,
Mall.
no, I'm not talking about.
Guess what's coming to St. Pete? The Foot Locker. It's been there for 30 years.
Not talking about a Foot Locker store.
Okay.
I'm talking about Foot Locker corporate headquarters coming to town.
Cool.
Yeah, from the New York Post, Foot Locker announced Wednesday the sneaker retailer will move its headquarters from New York City to Florida to escape the New York high costs. To better support our strategic process to increase team member collaboration, as well as ongoing expense discipline, we made the decision to relocate our headquarters to St. Petersburg, Florida. CEO Mary Dillon said in a statement. The company said it would maintain only a limited presence in New York City moving forward. Its sister brand Champs was previously headquartered in St. Petersburg. The move will happen by late next year, 2025. And you're going to notice a whole bunch of black and white striped ref shirts walking around town because all of the people, all of the people at the corporate office have to wear those ref shirts.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Earlier this segment, we were talking about there being a ref shortage.
Yeah.
And now there's going to be 200 people walking around wearing ref shirts.
So
every day.
ironic. Yeah.
I think they're bringing like 300 people here.
That'll be a nice little boost for downtown. They can go eat there.
Yeah, so they're getting they're getting incentives. Absolutely. I don't know. You know what? It hasn't been here. Okay, that was New York Post. Fessa, bring up the Tampa Bay Times because they have a little bit more on it as well. Bring up Tampa Bay Times. Yeah, right there. All right, yeah, let me handle this and log in. And hang on a sec. All right. So I know that Foot Locker is getting a. Yeah, here we go. The announcement, this is from St. Pete Times or Tampa Bay Times. The announcement comes nearly 3 years after St. Petersburg City Council voted to lure a Fortune 500 company rumored to be Foot Locker to the city with a $475,000 incentive package and the possibility of property tax exemptions in the future. In exchange, the company would have to bring 300 new jobs to St. Pete and pay an average wage of $120,000 a year.
That's a lot of money to sell some sneakers.
God, where do people get in line to go to work for Foot Locker in St. Petersburg in 2025?
You'd look really good in a referee jersey. That's awesome.
Yeah, look at that.
Good for us.
All right.
Anytime you can get a corporate headquarters of a big company like that, it's a big boon to the area.
That's nice. Yeah.
I absolutely agree. Hey, if you're an Uber driver and you get a bad review or you get a 1-star, what is the appropriate action to take? What do you think? You maybe self-analyze yourself and see what you did wrong as an Uber driver to try to correct it so next time you get a 5-star and not a 1-star?
It's time for reflection.
That is a good way to put it. It's time for self-reflection, self-help. Maybe there's some books available at Barnes & Noble, like, how to be a better Uber driver, right? Well, this Uber driver did not take my advice. Angry Uber driver shows up at woman's home unannounced, damages her property with a brick because her son gave her a 1-star rating.
Yeah, I mean, they take that stuff personally.
Oh, my God. An Uber driver in Chicago accused of seeking revenge for a bad review and a 1-star rating. A resident claims that her home and car were seriously damaged following this ugly confrontation with an unidentified Uber driver, which occurred just a day after her son gave the man the lowest possible rating. And she's saying that's got to be the only explanation.
That's it.
Yeah. The woman, whose identity was withheld for the family's safety, said she remained shaken days after the frightening incident, which left her home with a cracked front window and her car dented and scratched because the driver took a brick, apparently, and started smashing windows and bashing up the car.
Something people forget about all these service gig companies, they know where you live.
Yeah, they do.
They know where you are. They know exactly where they dropped you off. They know where to go back.
Yeah, the homeowner, whose name is not being released, says she's traumatized. I can't sleep. She gave an interview to ABC 7 in Chicago. I'm sure they did like they either like black out the face or they have like a shadowy or they'll shoot like at their feet or they'll like shoot just their hands.
I've seen that.
Maybe even change the voice.
Yeah. Put that voice synthesizer on him.
So the woman says she's shaken. Here's the deal. August 23rd, the woman's 17-year-old son called an Uber to take him to a local mall, Orland Square Mall in the Chicagoland area. The teen later described the driver as visibly agitated, weaving erratically through the surface streets while ignoring his suggestion to take the expressway. I was just trying to make it to the mall, and I was trying to get there within a certain amount of time, and the driver just prolonged the whole damn thing. After he was dropped off, the teen said he gave the driver a 1-star rating for the awful service. The next day, the stranger arrived at the family's door, steaming mad. So they know the driver showed up angry. The driver went back to the house to confront them on the 1-star rating.
Because that really affects their rating.
Yeah.
The guy says, I picked up someone from this house and they left something, and I knew it wasn't a belonging of anybody in this house, she explained. And so that was the guy's excuse to go back to the house. Instinctively, she kept the man at bay by speaking to him through the closed door, but her refusal to come outside made him even angrier. He turned aggressive, then began shouting about the 1-star rating that her son gave him.
So the Uber drivers can obviously see what rating customers left them?
As the man began to walk away, he suddenly grabbed a brick and hurled it at her front window and her parked car. So I guess she witnessed, she saw that.
Yeah.
MJ, I got to tell you,
Wow.
Since Uber came out and I've been a user of their platform, I've always had a 5.0 user rating.
Yeah.
Really?
Somebody, one of my last drives or two, knocked me down to a 4.88. And if I knew which driver that was,
oh, you'd clean their clock.
I would go to their house and lunge a brick at it.
Well, this is interesting. Do you recall anything that would have triggered that?
I go out of my way not to be overly chatty. Most of the times I even nod off during the ride.
Right? Did you leave some drool marks on their window or something when you nodded off?
Hold on a minute. You should be able to pinpoint which ride it was. If you had a 5.0 and suddenly you're knocked down to a 4, and you can go through the menu activity and go through, and you just got to hit a bunch of things. I believe you can see when that rating was left for you that knocked you down. For instance, listen,
it could have been Pedro. Pedro, when I took his ride in July.
Well, is that the last Uber?
My last Uber was July. Then I took one this week. And that's when I went back into the app and saw my...
Well, what if it was that driver that knocked you down?
Because I went into the app and saw it before he picked me up.
Did you hotbox them? Did you fart in their car?
It's possible. When I sleep, I can't be held accountable for anything that comes out of my body.
Exactly. So, listen, you're still better than me. I've got a 4.79. I don't know what I did to get I was as low as a 4.6.
Well, you're working your way up.
I am. I'm moving on up like the Jeffersons. Yeah, moving on up.
Just like the Jeffersons.
I'm moving on up right now. So I'm... got to get the positive territory. All right, 8:50 at the MJ Morning Show. It's 10 minutes away from 9 o'clock. We start the 9 o'clock hour in minutes. There is an update. You know the Taylor Swift concert terror story? This is crazy. There's an update on that coming up in just a bit. Also, what is the most dangerous cosmetic surgery where there's a 92% risk of complications? That's coming up in just a bit. And pickleball. You saw what happened here in the state, that they're scrubbing that whole deal. But wait a minute, I got another pickleball story. Man, pickleball, people love pickleball. Pickleball is becoming like this like new national pastime. People are crazed and rabid. I've got a bunch of friends that are like, yeah, sorry, can't. I'm playing pickleball today. You know,
gonna play pickleball with Todd.
Tons of people I know are pickleball players. Well, wait till you hear this pickleball story. We'll get to that coming up in just a bit. Oh, guess it's not just Matt Lauer with problems. Did you hear about Matt Lauer's daughter?
Uh-oh.
Does she have a secret locking office?
Former Today Show anchor Matt Lauer's daughter is in trouble.
Does she give interesting gifts?
She's hot, too. Have you seen a picture of her? She is smoking. Yeah. All that's coming up. That's why the quality doesn't suffer, folks. The quality always continues into the 9 o'clock hour until I utter my last word in the last segment every single day. So make sure you always listen to us in the 9 o'clock hour, which starts next. here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. forget. Fester, you got a call from me shortly after the morning show yesterday. Do you recall exactly what that phone call was about? Incidentally, you're listening to the MJ Morning Show. This is Q105. This is 104.7 FM. Fester, what did I call you about?
There was a very large piece of metal right in the driving path.
Yep.
As you got off of 4th Street onto 275 northbound.
All right, so I'm leaving the studio. I'm on 4th Street North. I'm heading toward the Howard Franklin Bridge, 275 North, for my trip back to South Tampa after the morning show yesterday. And as I'm getting on, I'm in the acceleration lane, so I'm already on 275 North. And I had to, swerve around this humongous, I would say the size of one of these computer monitors. So what is this, like a 27-inch? It was
it's a large piece of hunted chunk of metal.
What the hell was that? It was a mangled piece of large metal, like a computer monitor size, and it looked like it had all kinds of bolts sticking out of it. I'm like, where the hell did this thing come from? And, I swerved out of the way, and then I looked in my rearview mirror, and I was hoping that, the people behind me also saw it. And I saw the two cars behind me also make evasive moves to not run over this chunk of metal. So the first thing I did, I called FHP. I hit star FHP on my cell phone, and they picked right up, and I said, a road hazard. Someone's car is going to get mangled, or this could cause a really serious accident by somebody swerving, out of the way. And they thanked me. I said, if you can get a trooper over there or one of the road rangers as quickly as possible. But this was this is like some kind of alien space junk. It was a twisted piece of metal with bolts and all kinds of crap. So I called FHP, and then I immediately called Fester.
Yes.
And I'm like, Fester, where are you? Have you left the station yet? Turns out Fester was ahead of me. And Fester, you also saw the piece of metal.
And I had to make a very dramatic swerve around it.
So why the hell didn't you call me? See, I'm thinking of you. Look, I got a little chuckle out of Roxanne over here. So, hold on.
I'm chuckling for multiple reasons.
I thought of you because I didn't want you to run over this piece of metal in your 2010 Cadillac DTS.
A 2010 Millionaire's car, by the way.
Whatever.
So,
also, your last car, your Lincoln Town car, was also a millionaire's car.
I only buy cars that millionaires would buy 10 years, 14 years after production.
I thought of you. I called you to say, watch out for this road hazard. This could really screw up your car if you hit it. But you didn't think of calling me.
Okay. I thought of calling you. But then, almost instantly after thinking of calling you, I thought, the old boy will be fine. Onward I drove.
Oh, okay. All right.
The old boy will be fine.
You thought about it for 2.5 seconds, and then you just moved on.
Whoa, there's a big piece of metal in the road. I should call MJ, who's probably going to be passing the same exact spot in 3.5 minutes.
Swerving out of the way of this thing. So I'm hoping the road rangers or FHP, I'm hoping they were able to collect this mangled piece of metal before anybody struck it, because this thing was ugly. This would have blown out tires. If it got thrown up, it could have gone through someone's windshield and taken their scalp off.
The old boy will be fine.
Would have been like a scene out of Bone Tomahawk.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Violent.
Yeah. Hey, just that if any road rangers listening, this I know is a long shot, but if any FHP trooper or if any road rangers listening and you saw or you helped retrieve or pick up this chunk of metal, I'd love to hear from you. What the hell was that? Or if you saw it as well. Or hopefully you didn't run into it.
It may not have even been a car part. It might have just fallen off the back of a work truck or something.
I don't think it was a car part. It's just some mangled piece of large metal with bolts. Man, that would really jack up someone's car, man, if you hit that thing. But then you're always worried about road debris that gets hit and then thrown up in the air, because you've got the stories of people that have road debris that comes through their windshield. And, I remember over on I-95. This is sometime. Oh, by the way, here's the number. Any road ranger, FHP, anyone that saw this piece of metal, I'd love to hear from you quickly. I know there's a long shot. We probably won't get anything. But 800-990-1047. This was right on the 4th Street on-ramp. It was the acceleration lane getting onto 275 North in St. Pete. And it was ugly. But 800-990-1047. If you have any, I would love to talk to like a road ranger to pick this thing up. 800-990-1047. Or if you're a road ranger, tell us about some of the debris you've picked up. This is, you're tooling around, 65, 70 miles an hour. Some of this stuff is dangerous. Whether it actually strikes a vehicle or it gets thrown up in the air and hits somebody's windshield or people just swerving out of the way. That can cause an accident. If anyone has any insight on this thing, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047. What the hell? We've gotten stranger calls in the past. But the point I was trying to make a second ago, I remember some time ago, this is a while ago, that a piece of rebar, the metal ribbed rebar that they use in, concrete and forms. And, a piece of rebar was on I-95, I think around Boynton or Pompano or, somewhere around there over in Broward. And it got thrown up in the air and it speared through a windshield of a car and went through the driver's shoulder and pinned them to the seat because the rebar went through the windshield, through their shoulder, and through the car seat into the back seat, and they're like rebarred to the damn seat of the car.
Yeah, they can't get out.
Let me tell you right now that the person survived, obviously a little bit of shoulder pain, probably want to take a couple of Excedrin or something, a couple of Advil. But, if that would have been, over a couple of inches or a little higher, it would have gone through the head, through the heart. It could have been a whole different story. But the road, secure your freaking loads. That's like number one.
Words to live by.
Yeah. I saw some other story. Again, this just popped up in one of my reels. I was just scrolling, and I got one of these videos. Somebody had a couch, and they're driving, and the couch flies off their car into, traffic. Cars are swerving all over the place. They're skidding out. There was, a smash up. What the hell? Oh, wait a sec. Maybe that was the movie Nashville. No. Hey, hang on. No, I think that was in the movie Nashville that we watched last weekend. It was either a reel or the movie Nashville.
It was either.
All right.
Okay.
And I want to talk to you about the movie you're all hot to trot on.
I am.
All right, hold on. I want to talk about that in a minute. Andrew's on the phone. Phones are ringing. Andrew, do we have anything? Hold on. What is that, a no or is that a yes? All right, no. Okay. Andrew's answering calls there. So we have a pickleball story. We got a pickleball problem.
It's a pickleball pickle.
Well, listen, there have been altercations. There have been fights. The tennis people are arguing with the pickleball people because on a lot of these municipal or city recreational areas, the pickleball folks are taking over the tennis courts. So there's there was even arson involved out in Santa Monica.
They burned down the pickleball hut.
Yeah, it was the tennis players burned down the pickleball equipment shed.
That'll teach them.
Yeah, exactly.
Want to play here?
Burn their paddles to the ground. So listen to this, because pickleball is all the rage. Pickleball's this recreational epidemic now. It's it's all over the place. People, again, I know so many people that are playing pickleball. It's where'd this come from? It's I woke up and it's pickleball. I've done.
You've been in a coma. You woke up. It's pickleball's everywhere.
I've never played the game. Clearly I've seen it.
MJ's been in a coma since 2004.
No, it's
first thing he woke up. No, realized pickleball's
pickleball got hot in the last 5 years, and the last 2 or 3 years, it's really on fire. Well, here's the deal. This couple cannot sell their $1.3 million home because their neighbor has pickleball courts. And the racket is, no pun intended, it's such a racket that no one is buying their home because of the neighbors are crazed pickleball players, and all the noise of the paddles and the screaming and the this and the that. A legal battle has broken out. This is up in Massachusetts. Paying a little homage to Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick said that. Yep.
Bill Belichick is now calling it Massachusetts, and he's getting all People are getting ticked off. So you got a legal battle up in Massachusetts. A couple claim they're unable to sell their $1 million home because of the endless racket from a neighboring pickleball court. Yeah. Judith Como, 65, and her husband have been forced to hire lawyers after failing to find a buyer for their 3-bedroom home situated 2 minutes from the Sagamore Beach in affluent Cape Cod. The couple originally listed their home for $1.3 million before slashing it to $995, and then delisting it altogether after spending 8 months on the market, attracting over 60 potential buyers. But then the pickleball noise, it has caused all of the potential buyers to flee.
You can't find like a relatively affluent deaf person or something?
Mary Matlin or whatever her name is.
Yeah, she'd love it there. It's a beautiful area.
They claim home viewers were deterred by the constant volleying sound from 4 private pickleball courts just over the fence from their backyard.
Yeah, no thanks.
Wow. Mm-hmm. We have a beautiful view of the bay. We have beautiful gardens. We're so close to the beach. 2-minute walk. There was something wrong, she told Boston.com. Judith Ann Roan Como and her husband are beside themselves. Yeah, the pickleball courts were created about 4 years ago by the Sagamore Beach Colony Club, and it's a private court, and they claim that anyone that comes by, that the pickleball's happening during like each and every showing.
Yeah, well,
the courts are being used like nonstop.
If it's at a club, of course they're being played all day.
Yeah. So whenever their house is being shown, it's like,
plus
bing, bing, bang, bang, boom, boom, bang. You know?
The heavy
that's going to turn into a ringtone for Andrew
It
now.
It is.
Bing, bing, bang, bang, boom, boom, bang.
It might.
Andrew, our producer, loves taking little like blurting clips of me and turning them into his ringtones.
That's really creepy, Andrew.
It is.
But that captures his mood when he's calling him.
It's like I'm being soundbite stalked.
Yeah.
All right, anyway. Listen, I feel bad for this couple. They're trying to unload this house. They've just lowered the damn thing by like $400,000. And you got a pickleball menace and all this noise. Oh, we love the house. Let's see the backyard. Boom, boom, bing, 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 bang, 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 bang. I mean, that's what's going on, man. They're incensed, so now they got to hire a lawyer. They got to try to sue, and what a mess. And speaking of the pickleball thing, and we've mentioned this several times in the last week, but the update is the state, DeSantis, has now pulled the plug on this whole golf course, pickleball, hotel plan to invade state parks.
Good?
Yeah. Listen, on the surface, I heard this. I'm like, wait a minute, you got to think these wildlife and these sanctuaries, these natural places, and you want to, put pickleball courts in? Oh, let's take out this forest. Let's build a golf course there on, state land. Hey, you know what? That's too tranquil and quiet with a lot of endangered species over there. Let's build a hotel.
I heard some of the people against this saying how invasive golf courses are. They knock down all the trees, all the habitat.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, some people really like golf. They really don't belong in a lot of places.
Yeah, that's why you see alligators on golf courses, and why you see so much wildlife on golf courses.
Yeah, so Governor DeSantis is withdrawing, for now they say, plans to add golf courses and pickleball courts and 350-room hotels to Florida state parks.
How far along was this plan?
Well,
the news made it sound like it was a day away from passing. People were getting so pissed. It sounds like it was just an idea in committee.
Well, whether this is accurate or if it's a backtrack, DeSantis said yesterday that this was like an early idea phase that leaked. And keep in mind that the backlash was coming from all sides. So it wasn't like just Democrats going after DeSantis, who's a Republican. There was anger from Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, liberals. A whole lot of people just said, what are you doing? This wasn't really a political issue.
The Florida Nazis were pissed off, too. They were like, what? What are you guys doing?
I hate Florida Nazis.
I hate them. I hate them all.
Yeah. So that whole deal, because listen, locally, the Hillsborough River State Park and
And
Honeymoon Island.
Hillsborough River State Park and Resort, you
Right.
mean? We got the Four Seasons right next to the river.
And Conference Center.
Right.
So,
host your next event at Hillsborough River State Park.
So the plans are on hold now. They're back to the drawing board, they say. It's just not a good idea to invade these pristine state park areas.
No, you make Fort DeSoto all inclusive. Forget Mexico. I'll just go there.
Yeah, you know what? We need a water slide. That's what we need.
Right into the water.
We need how about a go-kart track with a
not-
pickleball court in the middle?
Knock that old fort down anyway. Nobody uses it. It's really kind of impractical. And build a nice resort.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, 9:18 at the MJ Morning Show. Roxanne, are you still fascinated with this movie Blink Twice?
I am.
But you haven't seen it yet.
No, I want to see it, though. It was released, I think, last week. I find that I just kind of fantasize about seeing movies.
Let me give you an idea. Why don't you just track and record the midday show and just go to a noon showing today?
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, how about that?
She has to do it live.
We'll do it live! We'll do it live!
Roxanne Wilder.
Yeah.
The barbecue.
Taken off early because MJ suggested I go to this movie.
So what is it about Blink Twice? And I got to be honest, when I first saw this and I saw a little bit of the trailer or the commercial, and Blink Twice just opened up, was it last weekend or the weekend before?
I think it was last weekend, but it just came on my radar, a couple days ago.
And I'm like, oh man, this has got to be a stinker. I mean, the movie Blink Twice.
Why do you say that?
Well, hold on a minute. Let me finish. So when I first heard about this, in the last week or so, I'm like, oh no, it's a late August release, and generally that's where the movie companies bury the really bad movies that tested poorly with the audience testing process, the market research, the focus groups. So the mid to late August has always been the movie industry's dumping ground at the end of the summer for crappy movies. I'm like, oh man, this looks like all winter. But it turns out that the reviews are good. It turns out that the Rotten Tomatoes and the IMDb, that it's got a decent. Hey, Fester, go to Rotten Tomatoes.
Sure.
On Blink Twice. Because I think it's in the 80s. I think it's an 80% critic, 80% viewer. I just want to double check. So, Roxanne, why are you fascinated with Blink Twice, which is, I think Channing Tatum is in this, right?
Yep. Okay, so first of all, Channing Tatum plays a bad guy, a really bad guy. So I'm interested in seeing him in that role. It's Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut.
Is it Zoe or Zoe?
Is it Zoe or Zoe?
I don't know.
I don't know. You're the critic on this one.
We'll call her Zoe.
Kravitz.
And is Zoe Kravitz related to Lenny Kravitz?
Is it Z-O or Z-O-E?
It's Z-O-E, and it has two little dots over the E. So is that Zoe?
Zoe.
Yes, she is.
Zoe Kravitz.
Okay, so it's a slow burn psychosexual thriller. Do I have your attention?
Maybe if you read slower, you will. It's a psycho thriller.
It looks like a great cast. Naomi Ackie plays Frida. She meets Channing Tatum, and he is a billionaire tech guy, and he invites her on a whim to his private island.
Sounds like a Jeffrey Epstein story. This is awful.
It's a thriller, guys. Yeah. Yes. And so they go to the private island, and things seem perfect, but something isn't quite right. Something isn't adding up, and it turns...
On the private island.
Yes.
Something is not quite right.
Turns very dark.
Yeah.
Gina Davis is in it also, as well as Christian Slater. What's he been up to?
Okay, so you're reading a lot of names, but so far it's about a billionaire who invites people to his island and things get creepy.
Yeah, and you have to see the trailer. And all the girls who are at the island, it's almost like a white party. They're wearing these white dresses all the time.
Okay.
And then Zoe said that at the end of the shoot, they had to actually burn the dresses because of what they meant in the film and how emotionally charged the scenes were. And there's a trigger warning at the beginning of the movie.
Whoa. You mean there's a warning on the screen?
Yes.
What is the trigger warning?
I haven't seen the movie. I don't, but it's, you know, some of these are crazy scenes.
I propose that we do movie reviews after one of us actually sees the movie.
Here's the problem with that.
Okay.
A lot of times I get excited about a movie, but then I don't actually take the steps to go see it.
So I'm going to read a review from MSNBC.
Yeah.
Christians.
But it looks great.
Roxanne.
If someone is motivated to see it now that I've gave them that little oomph.
Great to fulfill your desires. You know what? Great. When I first saw or read that it was on an island, I'm like, Michelle and I saw a movie in the last couple of years that was on an island, and it was like this culinary experience that was just whacked.
I know what you're talking about.
The Menu.
Yes, the Menu. I saw that.
Wasn't that insane?
Oh, that creeped me
Do you
out.
see the different energy when Roxanne actually sees the movie?
Well, guess what?
I saw that one. Yes, that's an appropriate one to do a review
Someone
for.
just hit me up and said she saw Blink Twice last night. The end was nuts. It's super good, very creepy. Think Epstein. Okay, there you go.
So think
Pretty
Jeffrey
much.
Epstein.
Yes. Billionaire invites young women to his island. I already think Epstein.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey, did we like that movie, The Menu?
I never saw that movie.
Yes, you did. We watched that. That's where they got on the boat for the culinary experience.
Oh, then they went to the island?
Yes. We didn't see the movie. I watched it with
I
you.
thought you were talking about a different movie.
No, The Menu, and then it turned violent, and it turned into this insane story. We kind of liked that, didn't we?
You know what? I don't even remember how it ended.
I saw that with Doug. We liked the visuals. It was a really well done, visually, aesthetically appealing movie, but I feel like the plot could have been more intricate. I feel like it had a lot of potential with the plot and tying things together and been more clever, but it just turned very violent.
Yeah, it was violent. Oh, by the way, the Blink Twice is a 74% critics rating on the tomato meter, and the audience rating is a 69%. So still not quite. I thought they were 80s, but not far away on the critics. Critics has a 74 on Blink Twice. So, Fester, go to the Menu. What was wrong?
The Menu.
I remember the ending on The Menu was just insane.
Very violent.
Yeah.
I don't even remember it.
Yeah. The Menu is high. The Menu, 88% critics rating and a 76% audience rating. Oh man, look at the time, 9:25. I got a break. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Where do you have to go?
Okay, whatever.
We got our workout. All right, I'll see you at the gym.
Okay, goodbye.
All right, goodbye. That's right. It's X-Force body workout Thursday. So Michelle goes, and then I'm
right behind her.
I'm right behind her. All right. 9:25 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, it's the final segment. I still have to get to the dangerous plastic surgeries. I have to get to the Taylor Swift update. Matt Lauer's daughter is in trouble. All right, so all this, and I got a little message for Pizza Hut. I want to talk to the Hut when we get back. All right, so hang on. Back in minutes on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. was just responding to a text from Mark Maynor. You know, Mark Maynor, does our Magic Mark. He's done, parody songs for us for a long time. And he says, hey, I need a new roof. Who can I call at Westfall? I said, Mark, I'll have Westfall call you.
That's great.
Yeah, so, hey, folks, if you need a new roof or you got a leak, it's westfallroofing.com. And I'm going to have them call Mark Maynor, who needs a new roof on the studio, and have him get a quote. So stand by. Mark, they'll be calling you shortly, I'm sure. Hey, let me send this. Fester, just say something so I can send this text off.
Okay. Roxanne's coming in. Hey, Rox.
Who's
He's texting Mark. He's texting Mark Maynor. Mark Maynor wants a contact over at Westfall Roofing. Hold on. I'm filling Roxanne in. What do you want me to do? Late morons in the news? I'm filling Roxanne in.
Let's do morons in the news.
How about we have Mark Maynor, compensate us for putting him together with Westfall Roofing by producing the Ketamine Queen song that we've been kicking around for the last several weeks.
We had the lyrics.
See, and that's the beauty of knowing MJ.
Mm-hmm.
MJ can actually have the owners of Westfall Roofing give Mark a call.
Needs new roof. Let me paste his number in here.
What are we doing? Yeah. So we're just putting people in contact?
Yeah. We're taking,
I'm done. Yeah,
it's all right.
Listen, I've got listeners, and he's a contributor for years. If he needs some help with the roof, I'm gonna try to get Westfall to call him right away.
I love putting friends together.
I don't need his roof leaking on all of the studio equipment that he makes these parody songs that we use occasionally. All right, you ready for the Taylor Swift? What smells like oatmeal?
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal smells like oatmeal.
All right.
Oatmeal does. Mm-hmm.
All right.
What flavor did you get, Rox?
Apple and cinnamon.
All right. So Taylor Swift, an update. So now we're learning that those maniacs that tried to do a terror attack at the Taylor Swift show in Vienna, they wanted to kill tens of thousands of people.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, I don't know how they were going to accomplish that. I don't know how you... So here's the deal. Yesterday, new information came out. The deputy director of the CIA confirmed that the planned terrorist plot at the Taylor Swift concerts in Vienna early this month was intended to kill a, quote, huge amount of people, including Americans. David S. Cohen revealed at the Intelligence and National Security Summit, and this was, I guess, on C-SPAN or whatever they wanted to broadcast, that the information Austrian authorities used to stop the terror plot from occurring was given to the CIA. So, again, the intel came from us that these terrorists inside Austria, it sounds like the Austrian authorities had no freaking idea until U.S. intelligence told the Austrians that this group of maniacs, these ISIS putzes, didn't they plead allegiance to ISIS or something? They're like teenagers, like 19, 18, 17 or whatever, and they wanted to kill a whole bunch. They canceled all 3 sold-out massive Taylor Swift concerts early this month in Vienna.
So the United States, MJ, has better intelligence in almost every nation in the world than that actual government.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Listen, because of our eyes and spies and our listening and, stuff being picked up on the dark web, the internets.
We know what's going on in their backyard when they have no idea.
Yeah, we probably have more knowledge of what's going on in other countries' leaders' toilets than their housekeeping folks.
I mean,
right?
Kim Jong-un has IBS, so we all know what's going on there.
They were plotting to kill a huge number, tens of thousands of people at this concert. I'm sure many Americans, Cohen said, would have been included. The Austrians were able to make those arrests because the agency and our partners in the intelligence community provided them information about what this ISIS-connected group was planning to do. Taylor Swift's representatives did not immediately respond to a request from Fox News when this news came out yesterday. It was early August that the 3 shows were canceled by Austrian authorities at the Ernst Happel Stadium in Vienna. You think they serve Vienna sausages?
That's all they serve.
So that's do they have concession guys running around? Vienna sausages,
It's just in Vienna. They just call in Vienna. They call Vienna sausages just sausages.
I'm curious. Now we found out that they had explosive devices. I think they were mixing up chemical stuff.
One guy was an employee. He was an inside. He got a job working security to let his buddies in.
I think it was the 17-year-old had gotten had gotten a security job to work security at the concerts. So you have an inside man. It's like a Denzel Washington. Was that Denzel Washington inside man?
I think so. Yeah.
Like a whole inside deal here. Anyway, I'm glad. I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan, but I don't want anything to happen to her. I don't want anything to happen to
I don't want anything to happen to any concert. Where people go to.
Yes. Well, I can think of a couple of concerts, but I'm joking. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm kidding. So that's the update. Then we have Matt Lauer's daughter.
Oh, let's hear about this. And you say she's really hot, huh?
Yeah, Fester had her picture up. You tell me, Roxanne. Hey, bring up the story about Romy Lauer.
Yeah, she's a beautiful young lady.
She's in trouble.
Take a look at her. Look.
What did she do? What do you say she's in trouble? Did she smuggle in people from foreign countries? What'd she do? She have did she keister a bunch of heroin?
She's the 4th arrest in the ISIS plot against Taylor Swift.
Okay,
I'm
that's
kidding.
big trouble.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. All right, here it is.
She's pretty and she's very fit.
Matt Lauer's daughter, is it Romy or Rami? It's Romy.
We'll go with Romy.
I think Romy, like Romy and Michelle.
All right, so Matt Lauer's daughter, Romy, smashed her car through a fence in the Hamptons and then fled the scene.
Okay.
Just ran off. Yeah. Guess what?
She's been caught, huh?
Yeah, well, here's the deal. This is what happened. So I'm assuming that this was July 4th weekend. The story's just coming out. So this happened last month. Let's see. July 4th weekend, she smashes through a fence and then pulls the car out and drives off. Is it that far-fetched to guess maybe she was imbibing? Maybe she had... the Hamptons are hot for drinking and driving these days. You got Justin Timberlake and... Well, here's the deal.
I was only 2 weeks early. He was arrested mid-June.
Yeah. Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was?
It was the middle of June.
Oh,
I
wow.
think. Yeah.
It just seems newer than that. All right, so here's the deal. Matt Lauer's daughter, Romy, smashes through a fence in the Hamptons, then backs the car out and takes off. Guess what she left behind?
What, her license plate, her whole fender?
Yep.
In New York, there's front license plates.
Yeah.
So if you lose your fender in New York.
Yeah. New York is front and back.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she lost the whole front end of the car, but the plate came off. So here's this fence totally smashed through. And then the license plate for Matt Lauer's daughter is left at the scene of the crime.
That's some good police work there, Lou.
Yeah, she had a Jeep Wrangler. Multiple sources told Page 6 that the license plate on Romy's Jeep Wrangler fell off in the in the Hamptons.
Romy.
Yeah. And that was easy to just, trace the license plate, and it came back to Matt Lauer's daughter.
Well, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Do you really get in trouble for that with your parent, with your father? Or if he tries to yell at you, are you like, okay, Dad, like you haven't done some bad stuff yourself?
Yeah, you were locking hot interns like me in your office at NBC at 30 Rock. Yeah, for Matt Lauer, it's more like 30.
So her lawyer, MJ.
Yeah.
Would you care to guess other famous...
What are you laughing at, Roxanne?
I'm zip it.
Yes.
So they hired this super fancy schmancy Hamptons powerhouse attorney named Edward Burke Jr.
Oh, yeah, he's big.
Do you know him?
Oh, yeah, Edward Burke. He's the go-to DUI lawyer.
So
I've never heard of him.
Would you care to? Okay,
I've never heard of him.
In the Hamptons.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
Oh, yeah. So like for instance, locally Tampa, a lot of folks go to Ty Trainer. In the Hamptons, you go to Edward Burke.
Edward Burke Jr.
Yeah.
From Burke and Burke for the rich people of the Hamptons.
Right.
For the Hamptons. So would you care to guess any of his other clients?
Oh, look at that. I'm looking at it right now. It's on your computer screen. So he has represented Matt Lauer in the past.
There you go.
So what does Romy call Dad? Hey, Dad, I just smashed through a fence. I left my license plate.
I know who to call.
Yeah, you call Edward Burke Jr. Yeah. When you go berserk, call Burke. I think that's his slogan.
But the other big DUI case from the Hamptons is working with Mr. Burke as well.
And that is?
Justin Timberlake.
Yep. So
there you go.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake's a client.
You think Mr. Burke has a big billboard there in the Hamptons?
He's on the back of every bus.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a drunk, rich a-hole, call Burke.
Of Burke and Burke.
Burke and Burke.
If you go berserk, call Burke.
That's a great headline. Let's call him. We'll sell it to him for $500,000. Yeah, so...
If you're drunk and you twerk, call Burke.
Even better. Even better.
That's the billboard. Anyway, but I'll tell you now that Matt Lauer's daughter is smoking.
She's a beautiful young lady.
Yeah. Well, she was a product of some model. Lauer and ex-wife Annette Roque.
They had an ugly divorce.
I can't remember.
They were fighting for like 10 years, and then all these accusations against Lauer.
Was she with Lauer during the whole NBC Today Show collapse?
Yeah, that was the straw that broke the back. And
bring up a picture of Annette Roque. Let me see what she looks like. Because the daughter is just, she's a knockout.
Yeah, Annette Roque's a beautiful woman.
Oh, yeah. I know. I didn't know the name, but I know the face, yeah.
She looks like what Annette Roque and Matt Lauer would get if they made a baby.
So I want to talk to Pizza Hut. In the final moments here on the MJ Morning Show, I'd like to talk to Pizza Hut. I saw a story that Pizza Hut is offering a pizza box that folds into a table. Can I just make a suggestion to Pizza Hut? Make a pizza that I want to eat. All right. Instead of making a pizza box that folds into a table, how about you go up to New York and try a slice from La Industrie or Scars or Luigi's on Fifth Avenue in Brooklyn. Go to Louie and Ernie's in the Bronx. Go to Paulie G's.
All right.
Go to R's Slice. Go to Upside. Go to John's on Bleecker.
Can you put your pizza snobbery aside and at least acknowledge this is a pretty cool idea if you're going out to like someplace to have a pizza without a table?
Yeah, so they have a box that has an underside that folds out and it makes a pizza table. But why don't you put a pizza in that box that I want to eat?
Yeah.
All right?
Let's start there.
Well, I mean, listen, anyone that's in the pizza biz, and again, I'm a pizza snob of unbelievable proportions, and just spend $1,000 or so, fly to New York, and I'll give you my list of places. Just use that as a guidance on what your pizza should taste like. I'll give you a whole handful of places. If you're a local pizza establishment, just go to New York. I'll give you 20 places to visit. You pick 2, 3, 5, whatever you want. And just make your pizza close to that or duplicate that flavor profile. I mean, it's not that difficult, is it? I mean, come on. Anyway, come on. Just pizza box table now. Anything else before we get out of here?
Yes. Please follow at Roxanne Wilder.
Oh, thank you.
I haven't said that in about a week or so. So I want
I
everybody
needed
to
that.
know.
Give me a follow. I'm certified MJ Radio. Hey, the other day I said I need 49 new followers right now. I ended up with like 60.
Look at you.
All right, so I'll tell you what. I need 3,000 new followers right now. So if you're on Instagram, I need 3,000 followers right now. At the very end of the show, I'm certified MJ Radio. That's certified MJ Radio. Give me a follow. And, of course, Roxanne Wilder. Fester doesn't give a flying crap.
Nope.
All right, folks, have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. And my DMs are open. Roxanne, are your DMs open on Instagram?
They're open for business.
Why are they?
Look at that. Roxanne's DMs are open for biz.
Mm-hmm.
My DMs are open. Certified MJ Radio. Roxanne is Roxanne Wilder. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a beautiful day, and let's be careful out there.